What up guys, Gangspranks are back with a brand new video. Today I am here with another installment for my monthly figure purchases. Today we are here for the month of December 2022. Before we get into anything, first off, happy holidays to everyone, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate, and also, Happy New Year. I'm recording this on New Year's Day. I'm not a very exciting guy, so I didn't go out and party. I stayed in and recorded a video for my figures. That's the crazy life that I live. But yeah, in all seriousness, hopefully everyone had an awesome holidays and got a bunch of cool stuff. Let me know in the comment section what you guys ended up getting for Christmas, the holidays. Like I said, whatever you celebrate. I'll just say Christmas because that's what I celebrate. But let me know in the comment section all the different stuff that you guys got. We're going to show everything that I got. A lot of cool stuff. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that I got, it was from Black Friday deals. Because Black Friday was at the end of November, so everything I got was like middle of December, so it's all that Black Friday stuff. A lot of cool stuff. There's some new figures mixed in here. There's some older figures. There's just a bunch of cool things. Another thing is something I uploaded this month, which, you know, if you're a fan of these figure videos, I uploaded a figure want list for 2023. It has to do more with the stuff that I collect. I put in a really well thought out video of all the characters and things I would like to see, different changes for certain lines, stuff like that. In case you missed that, check out my figure want list for 2023. I'll put a link to it in the description. Make sure to check that out. But before we dive into today's video, I'm quickly going to throw up a video just showing off all the different things that I collect. I collect 8 different figure lines. Yes, it is now 8 now. If you watched the last video, you'll know the 8th one that we collect. But actually, I will show you everything I collect. So without further ado, let's cue up that video and let's start showing off some figures. Before I show off what I got for the month, I'm going to quickly go through what I'm collecting and what you can expect in this series. And it breaks down to 8 different collections. First one, we got Marvel Legends. For this, I mainly collect Spider-Man and X-Men, mainly anything that comes in those lines. I've broken down and basically started collecting one of each character. I don't collect everybody per se. There are characters where I will shy away from. Characters who I'm very not familiar with, I will stay away from. Unless they're on clearance and they're a good deal, I might snag them up. But I tend to just stick with characters that I'm familiar with or I know somewhat. And with the Marvel Legends, I don't collect any MCU figures. I mainly just do comic, video game, or animated show design characters. Next, I collect McFarlane's DC Multiverse. For this, I mainly just do Batman, his allies, his villains, just kind of get one of each. I am starting to build out some other collections like Flash and Green Lantern. Now I'm kind of looking to collect one of each major character. Major villains, major heroes, kind of do like a Legion of Doom and a Justice League kind of setup. For this as well, no movie figures, strictly video game or comic-inspired designs. Next, I collect Transformers. For my Transformers collection, I only collect Beast Wars figures, or animal characters, whatever you'd like to say. With this, I started collecting with the Kingdom line, and that has transitioned to the Transformers Legacy line, so that's what I'm collecting now. I also collect the Retro Beast Wars figures, and for this, I'm just kind of looking to collect a one of each, Predacons, Maximals, stuff like that. Next, I collect Dragon Ball SH Figure Arts. For this collection, I'm just looking to collect one of each character. Now, each character does have multiple forms, like Goku, for example, has 7 different Saiyan forms. I might collect those all eventually, but my main priority is just getting one of each character. Next, I collect Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. With this one, it's a little weird. I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I respect them more than I like them. I grew up somewhat with them, but I'm not crazy about them. But I like them enough to where I want some representation of them in my collection. So that's why I've decided to collect the Loyal Subjects Best Action line. For this, I just really want the Turtles and Shredder. They are creating other characters. But for me, I want to collect all 4 Turtles and Shredder. And once I have that, I'll start to collect some of the other figures. But if they decide to end the line eventually, I'll be happy with having the Turtles and having Shredder. Next, I collect video game characters. For this, I mainly collect characters from video games that kind of mean something to me, my favorite games. I also collect some figures of characters from other games, kind of, bigger games, Sonic, Mario, stuff like that. But I tend to just pick characters from games that I really care about. Next, I collect Power Rangers. For this, I collect Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection. With this, I'm looking to collect one of each Ranger, each villain, just one of each. There's also a couple different items in the Lightning Collection. They're starting to do the Zords, and they do some roleplay items. For me, I do plan on collecting the Zord Ascension Project as they release more of that. In terms of roleplay items, not for me. For me, I'm just about the figures. And then last but not least, I collect wrestling figures. For this, I collect mainly WWE Elite Style or AEW Unrivaled Unmatched. I collect both those lines. I'm just looking to collect one of each wrestler. And fun fact about this collection in particular, it is the only collection of mine that I take out of box for whatever reason. Everything else stays in the box, and I display it as such. So now that you know what I collect, let's see what additions are going to be coming to my collection this month. Now you see all the different collections that I'm building towards. Unfortunately, with this video, we're only adding to 6 of those collections. The 2 that we're not adding to is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Best Action line. For that, I've pretty much gotten everything that's come out recently. But I did get an email from Big Bad Toy Store saying, hey, Wave 3 has arrived. So that's Krang and Rocksteady. So I don't think there's anything else that's going to be released for the rest of the coming months in early 2023. So what I'll do is probably get like Krang or Rocksteady for January, and then whoever I don't get in January, I'll get for February. So at least we have some additions to those collections. The other collection we're not adding anything to is the Dragon Ball SH Figure Arts. I did order some from Big Bad Toy Store. I ordered it a little late, and then it didn't come in time. Actually, to be honest, I was looking at the tracking information today, and it was created on December 20th, but there has not been any update at all. Nothing like, oh, it's arrived in Canada, it's shipped out of wherever it comes from. So I'm a little worried on that. Hopefully, after the whole holiday rush, like sometime early January, mid-January, I'll get some info on that. But as of right now, I'm kind of like, fuck, that package looks super lost. And I don't know what I'm going to do about that if that's the case. But yeah, I did have SH Figure Arts on the way. They just didn't come in time. So that's unfortunate, especially we just introduced it last episode. And then it's like, oh yeah, I want to continuously update it. And then no updates in the following episode. But what are you going to do? It's the busiest time of the year. Packages are coming from all over the place, and it's also my fault for ordering late, because usually what I do with Big Bad Toy Store is I add everything to my pile of loot, and then I'll just kind of ship out like one big care package of stuff instead of having like multiple small packages. Obviously to save on shipping. I did my previous Big Bad Toy Store order, and I did not add anything Dragon Ball related because I didn't know what I wanted to get at the time, and then I made a decision, and it was too late, and whatever. Just stuff and things. So we'll just be adding to 6 of those collections, and I gotta say, this month there is some cool stuff. But this might be the most negative reaction. There's one collection in particular that things I received was not too happy about. One I knew about, one I didn't. There's another one. There's a wrestling figure that I got that it was a mess. But the first thing that we're going to show off is a little Christmas gift. Not a Christmas gift to myself. Well, there are plenty of those, but we're not starting out with that. What we are starting out with is something completely unrelated to everything that I collect. This was a gift I bought for somebody. So I live with my great aunt, and anytime I get a new package and kind of add to my collection, she looks at my collection, she's just in awe. And then what I thought about doing a couple months ago was like, I'm going to get her own collection, and it'll mean something to her because, I'm buying it for her. And when you buy for an 80-year-old lady, she doesn't have too many interests that have figures, you know what I'm saying? So I really had to think of something, and then it came to me. What I ended up buying for her is the Super 7 Ultimates the Disney Ultimates, because like when I was a kid, I would watch the Disney movies. She would watch them with me, and she knows some of the characters. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna get her that. And her collection already consisted of Wave 1, which is Pinocchio and Prince John. I got her those two. There's also Fantasia Mickey, but I never watched Fantasia, so I didn't end up getting the Fantasia Mickey. I'm still thinking about possibly getting it eventually, but it's not at the top of my radar. And then Wave 2 recently came out about a few weeks ago, and I'm like, I'm going to pick up these figures. These are some characters that she actually likes. And I'm going to show them off real quick. So our first one that we're going to be showing off is Disney Ultimates Alice in Wonderland. And obviously, this is the character Alice. If you've never seen a Super 7 figure, it's really, really cool. It's probably one of the coolest figures on the market, their Ultimates line. You are paying a premium price, but the product that you get is pretty immaculate. Like, it's very well protected, shipped. The figures come with cloth goods, tons of accessories. Like, they really, really knock it out of the park. The whole line is called Ultimates. This really is like the ultimate figure. So, big fan of their Disney line. We're gonna do a little unboxing. I've already unboxed these because I set them up in her room. I set up a little display. I'll show you a picture of that after. But then I'm like, oh, I'll show them off in my figure video. So I ended up repacking everything. And now we're going to unpack it again. So we'll show the box off first. So this is a little shipper box that it comes in. Just a plain cardboard box, nothing on the sides. A little bit of information on the back. Super 7, Disney, blah, blah, blah. Nothing there. Nothing on the front. On the bottom, completely blank. But then we get to the fun stuff. So it's not taped either. It's just the two cardboard slides. So we'll take from this side. So boom, we pop it out. So I really like everything about these figures. Are honestly really cool. So there it is inside. We're going to pull this out, and this is all one piece. So here it is, very shiny box. Look at all the lights bouncing off it. Colorful, there it is, 18 plus. Or sorry, 14 plus. 18 plus is for some different figures, but Super 7 doesn't make those. We'll just show off the box here. Boom, Disney. Nothing on the side, and on top, Ultimates. I previously have other Ultimate figures. The only other Ultimate Super 7 figures I own are the New Japan Wave 1, which is Will Ospreay, Okada, Tanahashi, and Ishii. Sorry, I forgot there for a second. So this is kind of like my second collection of Super 7 figures. So without further ado, so it comes in this brown box, and then it comes with this slider top. So we're going to lift it up, and boom, there is the figure. Beautiful figure. Comes with two different heads, three if you include the one that's already there. Bunch of accessories. Little Alice there, the glasses, her kitty cats, cloth dress, looks great, and a bunch of hands. There is one missing here. It fell in. There it is. The hand got loose, but it does have everything. A bunch of extra hands there. I think there's even more behind this piece. But yeah, look at it. It's just a really cool piece. And honestly, I really like Alice in Wonderland. Probably one of my favorite Disney movies as a kid. I would say probably top 5. The one that I like the most is probably Aladdin. I can't wait for them to get to Aladdin. They're kind of doing a weird selection for their first few waves. So wave 1 was Pinocchio, Prince John from Robin Hood, and Mickey from Fantasia. It's 3 figures a wave. I believe it's 3. Or no, maybe it's 4. Who am I missing from wave 1? Because wave 2 is Alice, 2 other figures that we'll be showing off here in a second. Don't want to spoil it, even though if you know, you already know. But if you don't know, I don't want to spoil it. And then the 4th person in the wave is I don't know her name, but it's a hippopotamus. She's also from Fantasia, so it's kind of weird, a weird selection of Disney movies that they're kind of picking from. Alice in Wonderland, Robin Hood. I love Pinocchio and I love Alice in Wonderland. Fantasia is a weird one. I've never watched it, and Robin Hood I watched, and I enjoyed it. But it's not really, when I think of Disney, it's not the first movie that kind of comes to me when I think of like those great Disney classics. So it's kind of a weird choice, but the figures have been pretty cool. I don't know when they're going to be doing Aladdin or what a Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, Snow White. Yeah, I'm excited for the future of this line. So yeah, here's Alice. Looks good. We showed off everything. Did we show off the box? Yeah, we did show off the box. So each character comes with their own customized box based on their movie. So this is Alice in Wonderland themed, as you can see. And just looks really cool. Great figure. Another one of the Disney Ultimate figures from the Wave 2 that I ended up buying is in the same movie along with Alice. It is the Mad Hatter. So this is a much bigger box compared to Alice. So here's Mad Hatter's box, and then here's Alice's box. So quite the difference. A lot more stuff comes with Mad Hatter. They're both for the same price, so you can't really complain. But this one I think turned out phenomenally as well. Gonna do a quick tour of the box, but it's the exact same thing as the other shipper box that we showed off. So let's open this bad boy up and show the Mad Hatter. Super 7 knocks it out of the park. The only thing is they're kind of slow to put out figures, and they do so many cool lines. TMNT, Transformers, they're doing Power Rangers too. They're starting with the Mighty Morphin. I don't know if they're going to continue past that, but the Mighty Morphin figures that they showed off are really cool. If I wasn't already collecting the Lightning collection, I would definitely be picking up the Super 7 Power Ranger figures, and I even still might, but like it's a very low chance, because right now I'm very invested in the Lightning collection. And for me personally, when I collect something, I like to collect just one line. Like for some people, like a Batman fan, for example, they'll collect everything Batman. I want Batman posters, Batman socks, mugs, pencils, towels, like anything Batman. For me, I like Batman, but like I just want like one Batman, I want one Robin, I want one Joker, I want one Riddler, and I want it all from the same company because I want it all to fit together, you know? So I'm not planning on picking up those Power Rangers yet, but they're not out of the realm of possibilities. Anyways, enough about that. Let's get back into this. So again, just like Alice's box, different color. I think, yeah, Alice's was blue, Mad Hatter's green. It would have been cool if this was actually like a hat design, and then we take it off and then we see the Mad Hatter inside. But let's show off this real quick. Just the little cover on the box. And let's reveal the Mad Hatter. That was actually a lot longer than I expected. But yeah, here he is. Comes with two different heads, bunch of different accessories, teapots, late for his tea party. Can't wait for the rabbit as well, the Cheshire Cat. In Wave 3, we're going to be getting the Queen of Hearts. So I like that they're building out this Alice in Wonderland line, or movie, the movie characters. The other characters I mentioned, the rabbit and the Cheshire Cat, those have not been announced. Those are just characters that I would like as well. Just a dope, like, look at that. Like, they put a little chain on his little pocket watch. Like, that's cool. Like, that's the type of stuff that you get. Look, cloth jacket. Like, these are really, really well-made figures. They knock it out of the park. So there's another shot of him there. And we'll do a group shot with all three after, but there's the tea party. There's the Mad Hatter. Another shot of the tea party. A little window on top. And some boring stuff on the bottom. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. We'll do Alice, and then we'll do a group shot with the third character. Yeah, there they are. Looking fucking sweet. I can't complain. These figures, like I said, they are the ultimate version of whatever you want to collect. Like I said, they are a little more on the expensive side, but you are really paying for quality. Now, I don't know what the figure's like because I've never opened one of these. Actually, no, I have. Dum-dum. I was talking about how I opened the New Japan ones. The New Japan ones are okay. They're not great wrestling figures. they're pretty stiff. The articulation's not the greatest. It looks good, but it's not a great wrestling figure. And then last but not least, for the Super 7 Disney Ultimates, we are bringing in Robin Hood. Robin Hood, the star of the movie, just like Alice from Alice in Wonderland. We got Robin Hood, who is starring in Robin Hood. And again, cardboard box, the same. I don't even know if I showed off, whatever. I kind of just did. This is the same size as the Mad Hatter. So, a very chunky box full of awesome, cool stuff. And let's pull it out. So yeah, here's Robin Hood. Got some arrows in the tree trunk. Disney Ultimates. So, without further ado, let's lift him up. I don't know what made that noise. Here he is, Robin Hood. He comes with a ton of accessories. Like, there's really a lot to unpack here. So you've got Robin Hood himself. Obviously, he's a fox. Another head, golden arrow, bow, hands, quiver full of bows and arrows, and then twigs here. Another bow. And then he's got this costume in the back. You see this kind of bird head. I don't remember it from the movie. I haven't watched this in so long. I remember enjoying what I did watch. But yeah, there is so much shit in the background. There's this green thing right here. That is like a little cloak that you put over if you wanted to put on this head. And then you put on these stilts. And he kind of looks like a scarecrow. There's a lot to this, and it's fucking awesome. It looks really cool. Let's show off the box. There's Robin Hood. Like I said, this was a weird choice because Robin Hood's not one of the bigger Disney movies. I watched it as a kid, but I could not tell you anything that happened in this fucking movie. To be honest, like, I don't even remember. Maybe I need to rewatch it. Maybe that's something, you know? Hint, hint for Gangster Plays. Because that's basically been my movie reviews section, because I've just been watching a ton of stuff. Maybe I should squeeze in a Disney animated movie. We'll see. Maybe I should watch Fantasia. I always heard good things about Fantasia. I need to start watching like newer animated stuff from Disney. Like I've heard Turning Red's pretty good. Moana. There's the one where it's like, I don't know if it's based on Halloween, but it's based on like the Day of the Dead in Mexico and stuff. And that's supposed to be pretty good. I can't remember the name of that right now. Anyways, so here he is, Robin Hood. Let's set up all the Disney Ultimates. This might be a little hard because these are some big boxes. We will put Alice in the middle because she is the smallest. I'll throw up a picture of what my aunt's collection looks like. These three plus the two that she already has. Ignore all the Jesus memorabilia. She is an older woman. She is 82, I believe. 80-something. Very religious woman. Lovely woman, you know, basically a second mother to me. Just a little thing that I can get for her that can bring her a little bit of enjoyment. So these are cool. Shout out to Super 7. You guys make some awesome figures. And hopefully you guys kind of pick up production with 2023. Now that we got the Christmas gifts for other people out of the way, let's get to the Christmas gifts for me. What did I get myself? I got myself some pretty cool stuff. Like I said, a lot of this is from Black Friday sales. Some of this stuff I wasn't even going to buy, especially this next thing. I've never played the game, so we're going to jump into Videogame Characters. I got one addition to that collection. It's for a character. I have never played this game. I've been hearing a lot about it because I'll just say it's The Witcher. You know, I've been hearing a lot about the show. People have just been raving about it. I don't know how many seasons is going on. I feel like I've seen an article for The Witcher at least once a week, if not more. So I just feel like I'm consumed by it. And I'm like, it's a game that I definitely want to play. I just haven't got to it yet. But the Steam's winter sale's going on, so I will probably be buying one of the Witcher games, and you'll probably see it on Gangster Plays eventually, hopefully in the coming few episodes. Obviously, we're building towards episode 300. I don't know if episode 300 will be out by the time this is out, but if it is, go and check it out. If not, I'll put a little message on the screen saying if it is or not. And like I said, it is The Witcher, and the character that I'm talking about is, I'm probably not going to be pronouncing it right, Geralt of Rivia. Probably butchering that, but like I said, Witcher is one of those games. I've heard a lot about the game. I've heard people rave about the show. I think there's even another show that's going on. I think there's an animated show. There's like a lot of Witcher. Like I can't even keep up with it. Even for someone who doesn't play it or watch it, I see it everywhere. And it's so, I don't want to say it's annoying, but it's kind of like, oh my God, what am I missing out on? You know? And anyway, so regarding Black Friday sales, I follow McFarlane Toys on Instagram, and they had a post saying, we're having killer deals on our McFarlane Toy website. Come check it out. And I'm like, okay, let me go check it out. Maybe I might pick up a DC Multiverse figure. I was even possibly thinking of Mortal Kombat, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to jump into that line. You can hear more about my thoughts on what I think about McFarlane's Mortal Kombat line in that video I talked about earlier, my figure want list for 2023. And I was kind of looking at everything, and I did get a DC figure. We'll show that off coming up here. And I was looking at their video game section, and, I saw this bad boy, and I'm like, it's a cool figure. It was a pretty good price. And I'm like, you know what? Buying this will kind of give me extra incentive to eventually play the game sooner rather than later, hopefully. Yeah, I think it's a cool looking character. I like the box. It looks dirty, but it's like stone kind of a look. I like the little window designs going on here. And the figure itself looks pretty good. Because I've never played this game, I don't really have a set way on what he should look like. But I did do some Google images like, oh, what does he kind of normally look like? And it was kind of this version. He does have a bunch of other costumes. McFarlane, they like to reuse as much as they can, as often as they can. So he comes in a bunch of different other colors and accessories. There's like this exact same figure where this monster head is different. It comes with like a Cyclops or something like that. And his outfit is a different color. And I think it might even be different weapons as well. Anyways, I was looking at all of them, and this is the one I kind of landed on. And I think it looks pretty good. I think the figure itself looks very good and detailed. Comes with a magic hand, an extra hand of his where he does magic. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with The Witcher. I know there's supposed to be like this warrior type thing, or hunter. I think he's a hunter. I don't know. Let me know in the comments section. Please enlighten me on The Witcher. I think this is a wyvern head. I don't think it says on the box. No, there's not even a description or anything. But there's a badass pose of him holding his dead prey. Like I said, the figure looks cool. I wish there was two different weapons. Like I said, I don't know too much about his weapon set. But just having two of similar swords, I think they're both... I know this one's a broadsword. I think this one would be considered a broadsword too, or a claymore. I don't know my different swords. I'm trying to sound like I'm a swordsman of sorts, but I have very little. Whatever I know about swords is all from like video games and shit. And so I wish there was like maybe an axe or something, but I don't know if he uses an axe. But I just think having two swords is just kind of redundant. But maybe he dual wields swords in the game, so I'm not too sure. So we'll show off the box. So there it is, McFarlane Toys. Nice little side shot here. We saw the back already, 22 points of articulation. Nice little shot of him holding, we'll just call it a wyvern. And he's got one sword there, one sword on the back. Another side shot, the bottom, and the top. Yeah, we didn't show the top. I guess we'll be playing Witcher. And then what do I even play? Do I play Witcher 1? Do I start from the beginning? Because the third one's what I hear like the rave about. Like that's what people just like, oh my God, you got to play the third one. It's got all these DLC expansions. There's so much shit to do. Do I just skip right to the third one? Do I miss anything by not playing the first or second one? Maybe someone can give me some guidance. I do plan on doing The Witcher for Gangster Plays. Which one should I lean towards? To be honest, I'm probably going to buy the third one. But if I should start with the first one or second one, let me know. But yeah. You'll definitely be seeing The Witcher for an episode of Gangster Plays coming sooner than later. And I think after playing that, it'll make me have an extra appreciation for this. Because usually what I do is I play the game and then I'll buy the figures. Because most of my collection is based on shit that I've already played. So to buy the figure first and then play the game is just kind of a weird one. But like I said, McFarlane had a really good deal going on. Got this bad boy. And I guess this will segue us into our next showcasing, which will be the DC Multiverse. Along with him, I got DC Multiverse character Kid Flash, gold label. This is kind of a repaint because the other Kid Flash, the original one that came out, was based on the death metal speed wave, something along those lines, where it's Jay Garrick, Wally West, Barry Allen, and they all come in like their Flash uniforms, but they're all modified. They look really weird. I'll throw up a picture of what they look like. So I was like, oh, that Kid Flash looks cool, but, I'll wait till they eventually like release a regular version of him. And here he is in his classic uniform. Yeah, here he is. He is Bart Allen, I believe. Is this Bart Allen? I don't know. There's so many speedsters, I lose track of the names. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section. I think this is Bart Allen, though. But yeah, here he is in his classic Kid Flash uniform. Comes with a bunch of little electric effects and some fisted hands. I was going to say fighting hands, but fisted. I guess you have fighting hands. Fisted hands are for fighting. That's what I'm trying to say. And his running hands. And there he is. Like I said, his classic Kid Flash attire. We'll show off the box, but it's basic McFarlane stuff. There's a nice little comic shot of him. And I will say, compared to what is in the box, that's Kid Flash. This is more of middle-aged Flash. If you look at this guy, this is not Kid Flash at all. He does not look young. He looks like he has a wife, 2 kids, a cat, a dog, a job that he doesn't like to go to, a mortgage that he has to pay off, a car that breaks down on his way to work. This is a fucking middle-aged person. This is not Kid Flash. He looks way too fucking old. He looks old. He's not Kid Flash. I would have liked, I don't know, how do you make him more Kid Flash? Do you shrink down the figure? Because all the figures are basically 7 inches, so I don't know if you'd make him smaller. You would have to make him smaller, but not too small. Maybe 6 inches or 5.5 compared to, the regular 7. Little tangent there. I think the figure looks cool. I do have one issue with it, and it's mainly this, the paint. Well, actually I have 2 issues with it. The paint is not consistent in terms of like the red, where if you look closely here, a nice bright shade of red, right? And even the pants too, kind of a brighter shade. But then you look at the hands and it's kind of a darker shade. It does not match the little wrist gauntlet at all, or the glove. And the same with the fisted hands. They're the same color as the running hands. And it just looks very off. Like, after I mention it, it probably bothers you. And then the legs are the same color as the hands. And so they're like this shade of red, it just sticks out so much more. And it's like, why didn't they just use the same shade of red everywhere? So that's kind of annoying to me. And I think, at least to me, he looks like he suffers from like the Arkham Knight and the Catwoman syndrome, where his legs just look too fucking long. And then his legs don't match his hands, so it's kind of annoying, but it does look good. Even though I'm kind of like airing out my grievances or focusing on the negative, it still looks good. Like, this is the Kid Flash that I would have wanted, and I think it still looks good. I just, those are a couple things I would have liked to have been fixed. But other than that, I think the figure looks really good. I also brought my Flash so we can pose them together. Now, unfortunately, this one's based on the comics, and the Flash that I have is based on the Injustice 2 video game, so it doesn't really fit well together. It fits all right. I don't mind it too much. Barry just looks like a fucking tank. Like, look at that. Look at the torso compared to Kid Flash. I guess if this guy's compared to the regular Flash, yeah, he looks like Kid Flash. I actually like these. I do like them together, even though their suits don't really go together. I do like this Flash. I don't know why. I would like a more comic accurate Flash. This was my first 3 purchases were Arkham City Joker, Arkham Origins Deathstroke, and Arkham Knight Batman. So I was kind of already like building towards not comic accurate stuff. I think this might have been the 4th purchase after those 3. oh, should I get a more comic accurate Flash? Should I get the Injustice 2 so it kind of fits with the other three? And I ended up going with Injustice 2 because it fit with the other three. But then other characters that I've gotten are more like comic based, like Kid Flash here. But I don't regret that. I think it still looks good. I like these two guys together. And they kind of stand on their own, you know? So, you know what? Fuck it. I'm glad they don't look the same. And then last but not least, for DC Multiverse, only got 2 editions this month. The next one, honestly, I wasn't even planning on buying it. I saw it was announced, and I'm like, oh, you know, that looks cool. I had a figure of him before. We'll introduce him, and then we'll talk about it. But that figure is one of the newer Mega Figs in the DC Multiverse line, and that is Mongol. Hold on, I need to adjust to include him in here. All right, that's about as good as we can get, trying to get everything from the box in. But yeah, Mongol, I was not planning on buying. Just because I'm not too familiar with him. I think he's kind of a dark side level villain where he's like kind of like Thanos-ish for the DC multiverse or DC universe, whatever you want to call it. So I was like, I'm not too familiar with him. I did have a Mongol figure before where he came in this Green Lantern wave I owned like a really long time ago. I believe he came with a yellow lantern ring. He had some sort of lantern ring. I believe it was the yellow one. It's definitely smaller than this. Or like I said, this is a mega fig, so it sits at 8 inches. Actually, we'll show off. Here's Flash next to Mongol. And Mongol just, you know, towers over him because he's just a hulking beast. Thank you for the comparison, Flash. But yeah, like I said, I didn't really have any intention of buying him, but I was looking at Amazon over like Black Friday sales and stuff like that, and they had this for a really good price. So in Canada, a mega fig will run you about $55. That's just what the conversion works out to. I think it's 40 in the US, like brand new. Like if one were to release tomorrow, it'll be $40. That converts to about 55 Canadian. When I saw this for the price that it was going for, I was like, I'm not really interested, but for that price I can't deny it. And Amazon had it for $30. No sale, nothing. And the same thing with the Bane that I got last time. That was $30 on Amazon as well. And I was like, holy shit. I don't know if someone's at Amazon, you know, they put up this listing and they fucked up the price, or they put the US price or something like that. I'm like, holy shit, I got to take advantage of this quick. And I checked the other day for the Mongol figure. I'm like, is it still $30? Did it go up or something like that? It's still sitting at 30. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Amazon to be offering these prices, but hey, if you're going to sell it for $25 less than what it should be, I'll buy it. I'll definitely fucking buy it. And like I said, I'm somewhat familiar. I did own the figure before, but I don't think I've ever read a story with him in it. Now, on the box here, he's it says Superman. He's a Superman villain. I'm not the biggest Superman fan, so I guess I probably would have never read anything with him in it. Because he was in that Green Lantern line, I mainly associate him with Green Lantern. Like I said, I don't know too much about him. But for the price, I had to pick him up. So yeah, here he is. Ginormous figure. I think he looks good. Like, he looks really gross and shit. And I just think that it fits him. Like, look at those teeth. They're like rotting teeth. That's creepy smiles, gross skin. He looks really cool. I think they really knocked it out of the park with this one. And I guess I already have a bit of a Superman villains collection. You know, I got Lobo, I got Lex Luthor. I was thinking about buying the General Zod because I saw him a few times on sale. I'm just going to show off the box while I talk. I was thinking about buying the General Zod, but I'm like, you know, I don't know if I really like that design. I might end up getting the General Zod. Right now, it's a pass for me. But yeah, there he is. This is a little logo that came, or not logo, a little sticker. I'm assuming Amazon put. I tried to peel it, but it was looking like it was going to leave some residue on the box. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it on. And hopefully one day it just peels off by itself. Hopefully. But yeah, I just kind of left it there. So there he is, top of the box. And then the boring stuff on the bottom. For $30, you can't go wrong. I don't even think it's $30 in the States. Like I said, for a mega fig, $40 is the going rate. So I got it less than the US price. That was a steal. And like I said, this wasn't even on the McFarlane stuff. I did buy the from the McFarlane store, which was the first time I bought from McFarlane. I've never bought from the McFarlane store before. This Black Friday purchase was my first one. I didn't have any issues, so if you're kind of hesitant about buying stuff from there, I purchased. It came relatively quickly. Like, I think I ordered on the Friday and it was here next week. So it was a pretty fast turnaround. And like I said, I live in Canada. I believe it was shipped from Vegas, if I remember the shipping address correctly. I got Kid Flash and I got the Wisher figure from the McFarlane store. This was from Amazon. $30. Like I said, steal. Absolute steal. All right, next we are going to be talking about Transformers Beast Wars. A lot of issues. One I already knew about. The other one we'll talk about. But yeah, not too happy with the collection of figures that came with this month. The first one is coming from the Transformers Legacy line, and it is a character I've been waiting for a while. It is Tarantulas. Obviously, if you watch the show, you know that he is a main character, one of the main Predacons. They finally released him in the Legacy line, and I think it looks cool. I like the figure. I really, really like it. I like the box, too. I like the Legacy box. I do have one issue with it. I will talk about in a second. I'm just going to show it off real quick. There's an action shot of him transformed. On the back, there is his regular animal form, and there is his, I was going to say monster form, but there's him as an animal. There's him as a robot. That's as easy as it can get. Little shot of the Legacy. It's like some default wallpaper type thing. On the top of there, Transformers Legacy, and on the bottom, boom. So, actually, let me lower this. I didn't realize how small of a figure box this was. Okay, so I do have an issue with this figure. And it's a pretty glaring issue. And speaking about glaring, you know, if I were to show you, I don't know, we'll take Sandstorm here. And, you know, there, oh, look, a little bit of a glare there. You know why there's a glare? There's a piece of plastic right here, you know, to protect the figure, obviously. But with Tarantulas here, I'm touching the figure. No plastic covering. Absolutely drove me nuts. Now, I knew this was going to happen. When they announced the figure, they said no plastic window. I was like, that's really shit. Luckily, I did not buy this in store. I bought this online because I didn't want to deal with the possibility of this being damaged or someone fucking with it. So I was only going to buy this online. But yeah, there you see no plastic window. Figures going in. This is no magic trick. No effects are going into this. Look, I am reaching into the back of the box. No plastic window. So that drives me absolutely nuts. Now, I did do a little workaround. So for me, I open all my wrestling figures. My WWE Elites, Jazzwares, AEW figures, all that, I open them. And what I did was I took one of those plastic boxes, or the boxes, I took the plastic window and measured out a little piece to the box, and I cut it out. So what I took this out because I wanted to show that this had no plastic covering. So I did make this my own. As you can see, it is very crooked and not well done, but you know, it gets the job done. So what I've done in the meantime, I measured this out. I kind of throw it in here. It's not like great. I think the best thing I need to do is open up the box, like cut here, and then like tape this inwards, because the way I have it now is I tuck the plastic, like I left a little plastic roof here, and I kind of tuck it in here. But when I do that, so I press down, and it does have, you know, the protective plastic, but this whole thing is open. So dust can fall in there or whatnot, spiders, because there's creepy crawlies crawling in everybody's house. I don't want some fucking spider to lay a nest and be like, this is my queen, let me come in and fucking burrow myself in here. I don't want that. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take this plastic window, pop it out, cut, and then like glue it on from the inside. so it like fits flush with the cardboard, because right now the plastic is in, and you can see here that it is not flush with the cardboard. Why is it focusing on that? There, you can see. That's my little workaround for now, but I do, like I said, I have to take it apart and glue that in, and I don't really want to do that. I want a plastic window that's already there, like this one, or just encase the box, because this is all Hasbro, and I know they're doing it with some of the bigger figures where they just have it in a box, like no window, just covered, plastic-free packaging, just like what they're doing for Marvel Legends. Hopefully they implement that with, I believe this is the Deluxe Wave, Deluxe, Voyager class, all those kind of stuff. I have Inferno coming. There's the Leo Prime coming. Hopefully they get rid of this. Get rid of this. Either have plastic here or just don't leave this open. Like, I fucking hate that with a passion. I don't like that the figure can be touched by people and possibly even damaged. So yeah, made my own makeshift little window, but I don't want to have to do that, you know. Like, that is just really dumb to me. So as far as the figure in the box, it looks good. Only issue, no plastic window. Encase it or don't leave it open. Two options. And then the other thing we're going to be adding to my Beast Wars collection, I don't know if I mentioned this already, we're adding two things. So that was the first one. But this next one, this is actually my second time buying this figure. Let's show it off real quick. And it is the retro carded Beast Wars Retrax. He is a Predacon, as you can see there. And like I just mentioned, this is my second time buying this figure. So the first time I bought this, I pre-ordered it off Walmart. I think this was in August or September. And I was pretty excited. I'm like, oh shit, another addition to my Transformers collection. I'm super excited. I think the figure looks really cool. He's like a pill bug type. Anyways, get shipped, whatever. I open it, and I thought the asshole that packed it did a terrible job. And I was really upset. So what happened was, so it's a pretty big box, and it felt like the guy that put it in the shipping box, like, shoved it in there. So what happened was, this whole plastic window came out immediately as soon as I took it out from the box. So I returned it to Walmart. I said, hey, you know, I bought this from your online store. This is what happened. I took it out of the box. It immediately fell out. There's nothing wrong with it, but, you know, I collect my stuff on card. And they're like, okay, whatever. They issued me the refund. Hasbro Pulse was having a Black Friday deal, so I'm like, let me check out what's going on there. Bought a couple things there. This is one of them, and there was another one that I'll show in a second. Actually, did Tarantulas? Actually, it was maybe three things. I think it was Retrax, Tarantulas, and Power Rangers item, which I'll show here in a second. So I'm like, okay, this will be my second time buying it, and I don't think there'll be any issues. Maybe it was just the guy that at Walmart who packed it bad, and, you know, he shoved it in there, because it was kind of bent too. It was like, that didn't sound good. I'm 0 for 2 because this figure has the same issue that the first time I ordered it, and it's this whole plastic window is basically just falling off. This thing is holding on by a string, but this whole thing was like this as soon as I took it out of the box. It's just peeling. Like, the adhesive that they used for this window is just absolute trash. It's good here. Oh, not on this side. You can see it peeling there. I try not to pull on it too much because I don't want it to completely come off. Basically, this whole area here, solid. Glued to perfection. Everything else, falling off. Look at that. Look at that. That's fucking ridiculous. Just absolutely falling off. So it wasn't the fault of that Walmart guy that packed the order. It's just this figure has terrible box. Has a terrible window. I don't know if it's the box, the window, the glue that they used for it. It's just dog shit. So I'm going to have to use some sort of tape, or maybe I'll just glue it myself. I don't know. It's going to look fucking terrible. I was thinking about just using tape because it'll be like pretty clear and not too noticeable, where I feel like if I use glue, if I press down, maybe the glue will go inside the box and fuck up the figure, and I don't want that happening. So I'm probably going to use tape and just put pieces of like the clearest tape I can get to make sure that this window is not falling off. But yeah, very disappointed. I fixed from what I pressed in. Yeah, very disappointed with the box, especially as a mint on card collector. Not very mint on card, more like barely on card. So yeah, just man, I was absolutely devastated when I pulled it out of the box. And yeah, other than that, the figure I think looks really cool. We'll take a look at the face there. There he is. And unlike Tarantulas, who was a main character on the show, Retrax never appeared on the television show. I believe strictly just an action figure form. Yeah, there he is, and he does roll up. If we look on the back, there you can see he rolls up in a little ball, and he's got some little action if you press on the head. I don't really want to even... Oh, my light just went out. God damn it. Hold on. Turn on my little flash on my phone. Not as good, but fuck it. I was not keeping track of the light blipping. Yeah, so there's a little button here on the front. You can see right there. If you press it in, then I believe the pincers go in. Yeah, I don't even really want to mess with this box. Every time I flip it and hold it and shit, I'm like, I got such a tight grip because like I don't want this fucking window to come off as I'm showing off the figure. But yeah, there's the instructions on how to transform him. Other than the plastic packaging, this figure looks great. Like it's a very unique figure, and I do want to kind of read his bio here. There he is. Desert Demolition. Retrax survives in a series of cool, cavernous tunnels lined with the remains of his fallen enemies. He can roll over a similar-sized enemy and crush their body upon impact. And I also thought it was pretty funny that his speed here is 1. If you can catch him, which I'm sure you can just step on him and he's dead. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, other than that, I think the figure looks really good and a very unique figure. It just sucks that all the Predacons and shit are like bugs. Here's Tarantulas, another bug. We got Sandstorm here, Scorpion. I think scorpions are considered bugs. I believe they fall in the bug family. So it just sucks like the Predacons are all like bugs and lame animals, where like the Maximals are all cool shit. Gorilla, dinosaurs, cheetah, rat, rhino. I mean, there's a couple cool standouts for the Predacons. You know, Megatron is a T-Rex. But then you got like Waspinator and Black Arachnia, more bugs. So it's kind of unfortunate. We'll leave Tarantulas here. But yeah, 2 cool additions to the Predacons. Unfortunately, some very annoying issues with both. Actually, both of them, just packaging issues. That really sucks, but I can't complain about the figure. I think they knocked it out of the park. It looks really cool. And it's cool to get more Predacon characters, because honestly, my Beast Wars collection is mainly Maximal heavy. So it's nice that the Predacons got a couple other Commander-in-Arms to even out the fight against the evil Maximals. Alright, recharging my light battery. We can move on to the next thing. I think it's died in every single video of these monthly purchases. Like, I don't know, I just don't time it out right. I see the flashing blue light, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm panicking, let's hurry up through this, and then it just dies. One day, hopefully this year, maybe even the next one, we will record one where the light doesn't die. Hopefully. Moving on to the next figure line, we're going to be talking about Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Couple figures I bought here where I'm just like, well, one I almost regretted immediately, and the other one is kind of a situation from the last episode where it's like a don't judge me scenario. We'll start off with that one, with the don't judge me. I don't feel like I was judging the last video, so you know what? I did it again. So, in case you're not familiar with what I was talking about, in the last episode of this, I purchased Lightning Collection 2-pack SPD A Squad versus SPD B Squad. Both of them are Blue Rangers. Now, the thing is, I already owned it, but I bought a second one so I can display it as such. So, I'll show it on the screen what it looked like before with the 2-pack kind of outwards, and what it looks like now, where the 2-pack is kind of on that bookcase style. And I think it looks good. I'm very happy with it. And if you look slightly below, there's another 2-pack there. It kind of looks like the way the other style did. So I was like, you know what? There's a lot of deals going on for Black Friday. Let me see if I can find one of those, another one of those. And I did find one, but it wasn't for the exact same thing. So the figure that I am talking about that I have already is this, which is the 2-pack of In Space Blue versus In Space Psycho Silver. This is really cool. So I originally planned to get another one of these and then display one as such like this and the other one as such like this. But I completely forgot they did another In Space Blue release, which is what I ended up buying, and that is this bad boy here, In Space Blue with Galaxy Glider. That's what it's called. I had to look at the little box there. It is the exact same figure, exact same accessories, like to the bone, like same effect piece, same gun. Actually, not the same gun. We got some different paint. We got just silver paint there, but on this one, we've got gold paint on the little logo of In Space there. Right there. I guess there is a difference, but the head scan, literally the same thing. Figure, literally the same thing. Comes with the same hands, same weapon as well. That's his main weapon. And boom, it's there. Are there any color paint discrepancies? I don't believe so. I believe that one's good, but the gun is different. Anyways, so I forgot about this. I'm like, oh shit, I will get this instead for my collection, mainly because, one, it was a better price, and two, it will actually look better in the bookcase style. Yeah, that's what I'll go with. Instead of, if I were to get the 2-pack again, where it'd be like half his face, and it's kind of cut off, I can get the Galaxy Glider one, and I can get a full picture of him. So I was like, you know what? We'll go with the Galaxy Glider one. Don't really have too much to say. Like I just said, I have this figure already. The only thing new is the Galaxy Glider. There is an error on the Galaxy Glider. This right here, that little X there, it shouldn't be an X. It should be that right there. It should just be a V. I believe they corrected this later on, but yeah, they shipped it out with the X. Personally, for me, I don't care. Like, this is a little thing where it's like, yeah, I don't really care about that. It would have been cool if it was, you know, perfect and matched this. But it's not that big of a deal to me. But yeah, other than that, the figure is the exact same. I'll show off the box. So there we get a nice shot of In Space Blue. One thing I like about this box is they corrected it, where in the 2-pack of In Space Blue, there is a tiny little thing that does not look good. Let me know in the comment section what it is. You can pause the video, type it out in the comments. I will reveal it in now. But it is this little blue mark here. So if you look at the chest, it goes black, yellow, red, pink, blue. But on here they did a fuck up where blue is in the middle. Every other color is fine. But on this box, all the colors are fine. Black, yellow, red, blue, or black, yellow, red, pink, blue. So looks good there. Again, we'll just show off the box. Blue on top, some more of the helmets, bottom, and the back. Nice shot of him on the Galaxy Glider. Like I showed in the picture of the other one with the SPD figures, I will show you what the collection looked like before, and I will show you what it looks like now with the new Galaxy Glider one. It looks good. I like it. I like the way In Space looks now, and it, you know, they're facing off with the Psycho Rangers. It looks good. And now, you know, because with this one, I have the Silver Psycho, so I added it to the end of the regular Psycho team. Even though the silver one's not canon, technically, it's like just from an episode. I really like it, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll add it with my Psycho Ranger collection. So I think it looks good, but it's not a new piece for me. Another thing that's not a new piece, and this was one that I debated getting. I don't know why I got it. Oh, I do. I think I know why. So anyways, I bought this during Hasbro Pulse. They were having a Black Friday event. This is what I bought alongside the Transformers Beast Wars figures that we saw earlier. The reason I bought it was because of Jason David Frank, the former Green Ranger, White Ranger, Red Ranger, Black Ranger, who passed away November 20th. I remember because I went to a toy show that day. And just to come back home and learn that terrible news, I was devastated. You know, the Black Friday sale was going on, and I saw this figure, and I was like, I technically have it already, not this version. So let's just show off the figure real quick and then we'll talk about it. So the figure I am talking about is the Mighty Morphin White Ranger metallic version. I really didn't want to buy this because two things. One, I already have the regular Mighty Morphin version, and it is the exact same thing. Now, there are a couple differences, and we'll talk about that in a second. So this is like wave one. This is like the first figure that they ever revealed, which is really cool. But box is all the same. Everything's the same. What is different is, obviously, we have a very sparkly White Ranger here. I do like the gold more on the metallic compared to this. I really like how the gold pops on the metallic version. But in terms of actual differences, with the metallic version, we also get a different head sculpt, which we will talk about in a second, and we get this little piece here, and it is all the Zeo crystals combined. I don't know if we'll be able to see. If you kind of look there, you can see like this is the star. Basically, the Zeo crystals were a big story plot point of Mighty Morphin, because obviously they were using it to transition into the next series. The other Mighty Morphin Rangers are all available too. You get Rocky as the Red Ranger, Billy is blue, Adam is black, Aisha is yellow, and Kat as the Pink Ranger, and they all individually come with the Zeo crystals, and then Tommy comes with them all combined. So I was looking on Hasbro Pulse, and I was like, just looking at what I can buy, and I stumbled upon this, and I was like, man, do I need this? Because I have this already, and I'm very happy with this. And the metallic one, I swear I wasn't going to buy it. Like, I had no intention to. I was never really a fan of the metallic suits. They just looked really dorky. Like, how is you being sparkly making you stronger? I never understood it, but, whatever the fuck. It was just to sell toys, like you can see here. And, I was just really thinking about it, and I'm like, oh, man, Jason David Frank, he just passed away. I guess I was kind of emotional. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to buy it. And another thing that reason I bought it was I can see a lot of the Tommy figures that are already out getting sold and people just jacking up the prices to take advantage of his death, which I think is super fucked up. So in the case that I ever wanted this White Ranger, but I didn't want to pay a lot for it, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna buy this. And immediately I regretted it. Like I said, I already had the White Ranger, and I was very happy with this one. It is the exact same figure, like everything. Hands, you get the same effect piece, but in a different color. You get it yellow there. And we'll talk about the head. So I do like this head for Tommy with the ponytail. And then we got this head, which doesn't look like Tommy in the slightest bit. It does and it doesn't. That's actually what Jason David Frank looks like. They took more comic inspiration for this head sculpt. And it's interesting. I don't know why they didn't just use it. I mean, I would have liked a different head sculpt in general, but I thought this was kind of a weird choice to include. It's not bad. It's a little jarring at first, where it's like, what the fuck is a Tommy? What? Other than that, I don't know. I was gonna say I do like the figure. It is a nice looking figure. Like, the gold really pops, and that really sells me on the figure. I like looking at it. It looks nice and shiny. That's what it's supposed to do. Another really cool thing about this this figure is the box art. So for all the metallic Rangers, they did this special box art where obviously the box is the exact same, except on the sides you can see they actually did a metallic looking version on the box art, and if you look closely, it is textured, and it's basically just sparkles. So that's me rubbing my finger against there. So it is textured, which I think is pretty cool. It's even textured on here and on this side. So that's a cool little touch, so we're not just getting like the same box. As you can see here, it's not making the same noise as the metallic version. But this wasn't really a needed purchase in my Lightning collection. I did not need it. And now I face the conundrum of, do I get the rest of them? Do I get the other 5? And I'm debating with that right now. I think this might be a one-off for me. Unless I can get the other metallic Rangers for a good price, then I'll consider it. But for the most part, I want to tap out of this. I'll just show off the box real quick. So there's the front shot there. Side shot there. Little shot on the back. Very shiny looking. Side shots. The bottom. And the top. Rest in peace, Jason David Frank. I'm sure there'll be many, many other Power Ranger figures coming soon. But in case I ever wanted this one, I will be happy knowing that I did not pay some scalpler, some fucking bonus $50, just, you know, the death fee. And then last but not least, for my Power Rangers Lightning Collection, a release that I'm actually excited about, something new compared to everything else that I bought. I got the recently released Deluxe Wave 2, I think it's 2, but it is Mighty Morphin Monster Snizzard. I'm gonna be honest, when they first announced it, I was like, why the fuck are you doing this monster? He's not the biggest name. His real claim to fame is that he's voiced by Billy Cranston. Or, sorry, Bryan Cranston. Couldn't think of the name. Who is Walter White from Breaking Bad. For me personally, like, he was not a monster that stood out to me. So I wasn't as excited about his release as like other announcements, but he does look really cool. I really like this jaw that can just fold out. Take a look on the back. That's what he looks like, and that's what you can do with him. I think that looks really cool. It also comes in the plastic-free packaging, which means we're going to have to open it and make sure everything is inside. But before we do that real quick, we'll compare the box with a other previous monster release. I guys not new, I just brought it to compare. As we can see, the plastic-free packaging versus the plastic packaging, and just a different art style. So the way I have my Lightning collection, everything is displayed like this, sideways. And now with the new version, doesn't really match, and they're looking different ways. All the other monsters, I'm looking at them now, it's to my left here, and all of them are looking this way. And then Snizzard's like, but Kaz, we could look the other way. I wish they adjusted more for this to be in line with the other ones, but you know, whatever, what are you gonna do? So we'll take a quick look at the box. So there's Snizzard on the front, nice little graphic design of him and the figure there. Mighty Morphin Snizzard. The top there, Lightning Collection. This is how I have them displayed on my shelf, so I'm going to cut from this side. Hopefully I remember that. And, you know, 2 seconds when I do that. Nice little back shot. And the bottom. So we are going to cut here. Again, what I do with all my figures that are in the plastic-free packaging, in case something is wrong with it, I like to show I did not open it. It came this way. So tape is there. Not messed with. And tape on this side. Also not messed with. Where's my knife? Here it is. Let's take a look at Snizzard. Hopefully he looks good. Feels very heavy. Pretty heavy box. I feel like this one's going to be a nightmare to repack. But I say that every time, and the repacking has not been that bad. But this is a bigger figure where the monsters, it says on the back here, 7.5 inches, where all the Rangers are 6. Here he is. Oh man, I thought there would have been more stuff. Okay, we've got 2 baggies of stuff, so I'm assuming our boy Snizzard is in here. And then, oh, what do we got here? What the hell? That's new. We got like string or something. Is it? Oh, look at that. They put this in here so everything's not flying around. Cool. Well, let me get that untied. They'll probably be here for a while. I have untied them. I left one side in so it's easier to put it back together. I like that little rope idea. It's not rope. This feels like paper. Like this can easily break if I yank on it too hard. It's not focusing. Very soft material. I don't know what this is, but it just feels like paper. So let's pull out our boy Snizzy, and I'm going to try and do this as smooth as possible. Okay, this definitely feels like Snizzard. Okay, accessories came out, no problem. Let's take a look at the accessories first. Let me just adjust my camera. I don't like how it is. I don't know if I made things better or worse, but I think they look slightly better. Let's open this up. Let's take a look at what's inside. A lot of things in here. Okay, empty baggie, and I do like the design on the plastic bags compared to Marvel Legends, which is just like, nah, here's just a plain bag. So let's take a look. So we've got some snakes because he is a snake person. So this can come apart like this. I guess you wrap this around the Rangers. We'll show the face. A little bit of detail. Yeah, not too much to say. It's just a green snake. We've got another snake, which is, I guess, used more as a lasso. Hey, come here, Power Ranger. That wasn't really like a southern type thing. Come here, Power Ranger. I got you. That was much better. But yeah, he can grip from here. I don't know if he has regular hands. We'll take a look in a second. There is no set of hands here to change, so we'll see how his gripping goes. So put the snakes aside. His weapon, which is a crossbow made of snakes, you guessed it. So he's got snakes on the crossbow, and then he's got an arrow that is a cobra. What kind of snake is that? I think it's king cobra. I think that's, I don't know. I'm not a big snake guy. I am actually like absolutely petrified of snakes. They creep me the fuck out. It's weird that the ones on the arrow got their eyes painted, but no red paint for Buddy over here. I think a little, like, the smallest red dab of paint would have it would have made this something. It just feels like a piece of plastic. So yeah, we're gonna put all the snakes aside. We got two more things to show off. We've got this orb. I want to call it an apple really bad. I don't know why, but this goes on the top of his head, and it is shooting off little beams. And then last but not least, his tail, which I believe has a wire of some sort. It's definitely some hard plastic. It poses a little bit, but does look like it's coming down. We'll pop it on him and check him out. And let's talk about the man of the hour. Oh, this one has tape. No! Why you put tape on this one? What the fuck? Dude, and it is just the biggest piece of tape ever. Dude, I'm not gonna be able to open this without ripping it. Bag ripped a little bit, but for the most part, I took it off pretty flawlessly. I don't know why you have tape if you have the stupid, sorry, just give me a second. I don't know why you have tape if you have the ties. It should be either one or the other. No, the bag is ripping! The tape got stuck! I was putting it flat to see if it would fix it. Sorry, I didn't know if if the bag makes too much noise over my audio, so I just repeated what I said. But here he is, Snizzard. Let's put, it is an apple. I thought it was an apple. That's a golden apple on his head. And then you can put this. How does this go? Oh, I guess it just goes like that. Okay, it wasn't really, going in well. Okay, that looks interesting. If he's firing off for an attack. Okay, we'll put that on after. Let's show the figure off first. But here he is, looking good. There's his hands. He's got snake hands. Got so many snakes with this guy. This is a cool figure. Like, as much as I'm not excited about him being released, it is a cool figure. Like, you can't deny it. Like, it looks awesome. Actually, let's put his tail on now. Hopefully I can take this thing out. Yeah, we can. Okay. Just had to do the test before I really commit to this, so I can repack it back up. But yeah, legs, or snakes all over the legs. Has some good articulation. Even though it's, I thought he'd be tougher to pose, but not too bad. He's got knee joints. I felt them. And a rotation at the ankle. So that's pretty cool. Because you see a figure like this, and it's like, God, how much can he move? And he can actually move quite a bit. He's even got the thigh cut in there. And arms are pretty good. Can do that. Put it out however you'd like. I guess it should be more like this. Yeah, it looks cool. Let's see his back. Paint looks good. There's the tail. We'll put his tail upwards for now. And I guess you can also use it to stand him. If you were to pose him. He's kind of sitting on his tail. But the one thing I really want to check out is this dislocating jaw thing. Ooh. Okay, and then he's got more snakes in here. Does this go up at all? No, this rotates, but it does not go up. So the only thing that moves is the bottom of the jaw. Sorry, I did not get any of that on camera. Sorry, I was looking at the actual figure and not showing it to the camera. That's about as far down as it goes. And this, you can hang it or however you'd like. The thing looks cool though. Like, there's a lot of small parts that went into this. Some crazy sculpting. I think it's worth it. It looks cool. But like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the monster. He wouldn't be in my top 10, top 15 Mighty Morphin monsters I probably would have selected. But I think it looks cool. I like him. A lot of teeth on him, a lot of snakes. Put on all his accessories. Let's put this on his apple. I don't even remember the episode that he was from. I don't remember shit about him. We'll use his little cowboy lasso. Okay, that actually fits decent in there. But you can kind of throw it outwards. Catch yourself all cowboy ranger. More snakes. I guess you can wrap the snake around, you know, his snake arm if you want to really snake it up. Or I guess you can even put it in his mouth, and then when his jaw comes down, it like launches at the rangers. That'd be cool too. We're gonna put the jaw back up because I want to try the bow and arrow, and I don't think it will work well with his mouth open. I'm trying to find like the easiest way to open and close this, because like when I put it up, it seems like it's really in there. But if I pull enough, there we go. I don't know what it's getting stuck on, but it is a little bit of a nuisance to pull down. Not too much, but I just wish it was slightly easier. And there he is. And let's try him with his little bow. This one seems like a nightmare to fucking set up. So they put a little space here, so that's where you would put his hand, and then obviously the other hand goes on the string, and it would pull the string back, and he would shoot the snake at the ranger. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pleasantly surprised. I knew it'd be like a good figure. I just wasn't crazy about it coming out. But it looks good. I like this a lot. He doesn't feel 7.5. Give me a ranger to compare him against. So here's Tommy. There's their feet. Hold on, I want to get them as straight as possible. Their feet match about there. He's not that much taller than him. I know one of the issues the first few monster waves was that the monsters just tower over the rangers. Like King Sphinx and Pumpkin Wrapper, they are just ginormous. This I think was a good size. Like the box says 7.5. I don't think that's the case. I don't have a measuring tape or anything, but it doesn't feel tall. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but the snakes can rotate. I always like when we get monsters in the collection. We don't get them as often as I'd like, but when they come out, they usually knock it out of the park, except for the first few waves. Well, actually, just the first wave, the first Monsters wave, the Pumpkin Rapper, and King Sphinx. They're nice looking figures. They just needed a little bit more paint. But all the other monsters, Eye Guy, we'll pull him out. Pudgy Pig, Piranha's Head. I think they all look pretty solid. Here's Eye Guy. Let's do a comparison. So let's say the feet are about there. Eye Guy is slightly bigger, definitely wider, but slightly taller. Which is fine. I think they're still somewhat in scale. I'm happy about this one. I think this figure turned out really, really well. Alright, next we are going to move on to wrestling figures. Now, with this month, I only got WWE Elite figures. No customs this month, unfortunately. Got a bunch that are being worked on and being created. Hopefully we'll have some of them for January. There are some cool customs in the work, so be excited about that. So as far as the wrestling figures I got this month, just WWE Elites. Got 4 of them. We'll start with the one of the guy that I know probably the least about, and that is Ilya Dragunov. Probably one of the coolest names in all of wrestling. Ilya Dragunov, like, that is such a badass name. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest Dragunov fan. I haven't seen too much of his work. I've seen a few clips of when he wrestled in PWG. He did a few matches there, and the one thing that I've really seen of him was his match with Gunther, or Walter at the time. Walter just beat the absolute shit out of him. I don't remember if he won the title there, but I just remember it was a match he had with Walter and people were just raving about it. And sometimes it's just like a match where like everyone is talking about it and it's like, okay, I've got to watch that match. That was this match here, the one that he had with Walter. I know he's on NXT at the moment because he was NXT UK champion. NXT UK is gone because they're rebuilding for NXT Europe. So this is a defunct title now, but I left it on him. These are the accessories that he came with. He also came with a couple set of hands. This figure is kind of creepy if you look at the face. I've never had a figure that I thought was going to kill me until I bought this one. Just the look in his eye is just like, I kill people and I have a very good time doing it. That's what it is. Look at those creepy eyes. My God. It looks like he hasn't slept in days. It looks like he's looking into your soul. And he might be. The little smile there, like, it is one creepy looking figure. I don't think he actually, like, looks this creepy. I think he looks probably pretty normal. Kind of a plain looking figure. So we've got his cloth robe here. Looks nice. I like the little, like, pleather that they did with this. We'll take it off, show off the figure. Very plain looking figure. He's a wrestler's wrestler, no crazy attire, no elbow pads, no wrist tape, no knee pads, nothing. He is just your classic mat wrestler. And I don't know what it says. Unbesiegbar? Unbesiegbar. I don't know what that means, but it is on his trunks. Really not much to say on the figure. I think it looks good. I did have some issues with the UK title. These ports, they felt very weak when I was trying to plug them into the little holes. I had a lot of issues with it, so what I just ended up doing is I left it in wrapped around his waist, so it'd kind of just like settle. And it has settled now, but they're still, I don't know, they're not as sturdy as they should be. I don't know. But I did have some issues with these. There's a UK title. We've received this a few times with Walter and Tyler Bates. And Pete Dunne, too, I believe, came with it. Don't remember that one. But yeah, here he is, posing with the title. And I think it looks good. Like I said, really not too much to say about the figure. It is pretty plain. He doesn't come out with luxurious clothes and suits and stuff. He's going to go in the ring, he's going to torture you, and he's going to smile while doing it. Another somewhat recently released figure came out a few months ago. This is another Elite figure, not from the regular Elite Wave. This is from one of the sublines, the Royal Rumble Elite Wave. I don't know if you hear that ticking, but you should know what time it is. It's time. It's time. It's Vader time. So here he is, Vader. I really like this figure a lot. This is like that classic Vader look. I really am a fan of this, and I brought his hand, his Vader time hand, so he can tell you what time it is. But it is always Vader time. Just like it's always Rusev Day, it's always Vader time. The mask looks good. A little bit of black paint on the nose kind of fell down a bit. Not that big of an issue. Just pointing it out. But yeah, I wanted a Vader figure for a good bit. I was originally going to buy the Legends Wave one. It comes in like a black singlet, and it's got like some red designs on it. But you get two different mask designs from what I remember. You get this like old school Vader mask, and I believe you get this mask too. I would have liked an extra head of him unmasked. That would have been cool. Or maybe the mammoth portion. I'll try and find a picture of that too, what it looks like. It was basically just his entrance gear that he would wear. He does come with one accessory, which I think is kind of cool, because they don't really do it too often, which is this. It is a Build-A-Figure piece for an announcer, a backstage announcer called Doc Hendricks, who I believe was Michael P.S. Hayes. They don't usually do too many Build-A-Figures, so when they do, it's pretty cool. I don't plan on getting the rest of the wave, which is Damian Priest, Brie Bella, and Rey Mysterio. The Rey Mysterio looks good, and I almost bought it, but it has the chin strap is undone, and for some reason that just really annoys me. So I was like, you know what? I'll skip on that. But it is a nice Rey Mysterio. I do like that red gear. So you'd have to buy all 4 of those figures to get all the pieces to build Doc Hendricks. But sorry, excuse me, losing my voice. Need to take a drink here in a second. But I just think it's cool whenever they do Build-A-Figure pieces. I've never had a Build-A-Figure that they've done yet where it's like, oh man, I really need that. I'm waiting for the day, where it's like, oh shit, that is a cool Build-A-Figure that I need to get all the figures in the wave. But unfortunately, like I said, they usually do the older guys, and it's guys I didn't grow up with, so I have no attachment to it. Next, we've got, similar to Ilya Dragunov, I feel like you gotta say his name like that, a more contemporary wrestler, a current wrestler on the roster, on the active roster, also from NXT. It is, in WWE, he is known as Cameron Grimes. I am more familiar with him as Trevor Lee. I haven't watched too much of his stuff in WWE. I know he did this gimmick where he won crypto or some shit like that, and then he became super successful and had a whole thing with the $1 Million Man, and he was feuding with LA Knight. I saw clips of that on YouTube, but I can't say I was following it consistently. For me, I more so know him as Trevor Lee. Watched him in PWG, watched some of his stuff in Impact Wrestling when he was there, and he was the Impact X Division champion. As far as his WWE stuff, I haven't seen too much, but here he is. He looks good. Comes with a lot of accessories. Comes with this $1 Million title. A little disappointed in this one. I really wish they did a shiny version of this. It was just the plain plastic, kind of like the Omos from the last video, where they just gave us the flat version instead of, you get the shiny titles with the elites, and usually the basics get the kind of more plain looking belts. And for a ringside exclusive, this is a ringside exclusive, I was very surprised that they didn't shell out the few extra bucks or whatever to get him a shiny title. But I actually don't have this in my collection yet, so it's a nice addition to my belt collection. But yeah, I just wish it was shiny. But other than that, one thing I don't like about this title is the backing here, where, let me get the UK title again, where most normal titles have, all the holes and the 4 different prongs. But with this one, it has this weird little piece, and you kind of, you clip it in, bring it in, and then boom. So it's not adjustable at all. So if you want to put it on a bigger guy or smaller guy, even if you were to put it on Cameron, who will put it on in a second, it just slides down. I'm like, it's so small of a belt. So I wish they did this version of the $1 Million title, but what are you going to do? Our boy Cameron here, Trevor Lee, whatever you want to call him, comes with a bunch of accessories, comes with money, comes with a bunch of different hands. I think two extra sets of hands on top of the ones that he already comes with. And comes with his full entrance gear, which is this hat, which looks good. A lot of detail in it. So that's a nice piece. Comes with this plain brown vest, which we'll take off. I was kind of worried because when they originally released screenshots of this, his chest hair looked super burnt. Like he was left in the toaster oven and someone forgot to take him out. Like you might put it in for 2 minutes and then you only really want 30 seconds. But in case you want like 35 seconds, you know, you got the 2 minutes and you can just let it run. But the chest hair doesn't look that bad, to be honest. In pictures, it looked way worse. But he is a hairy guy. They call him the Caveman. What's it called? Carolina Caveman. That was his nickname as Trevor Lee. Looks good. All the articulation you would want in an elite figure. So you can do that cool move that he does. Let me get Ilya. Poor Ilya is going to get the cave stomp or whatever it's called, where he jumps up and just basically double stomps on the chest. It's a really cool move. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, holy shit, that looks awesome. And his other move that he does where he's running at the guy and then he does a rotation flip like that. I don't know what it's called, but he just does it so flawlessly. It looks sick. Big fan of Trevor Lee, and I'm glad he finally got a figure in the WWE Elite line. And this hair is very soft, so whenever you were to put on the vest, it easily, you can lift it up and then slide the vest on. But he has a long... I wasn't expecting his hair to be this long, but I guess it is. Yeah, quite a mane of hair he's got. And let's try putting on the $1 million title. So as you can see, there's already a lot of space. There it is. It is on him and completely sliding down. So he's... And you can slide it down even further. Like, that's how loose it is on him. Boom. I just fucking took it off. Like, that's ridiculous. It just slid off him. I guess this is one way you can put the title on him. Jesus. Interesting. But yeah, it's just fucking huge on him. Like, look how much space on that. So, that's unfortunate, but I don't think they plan on remaking the $1 million title anytime soon. They don't issue it too often because how many guys have won it? Like, it's just Ted DiBiase, Trevor Lee, or Cameron Grimes. LA Knight, I think, won it. Yeah, he won it, and then Cameron Grimes won it from him, and then Stone Cold also won it when he was the ringmaster. So there's 4 guys. There might be more, but those are the only ones that I can think of. But yeah, cool one. And also, he's got a really cool box. So he is a ringside exclusive. I believe I mentioned that already. And he's got a really cool box. So here it is. So much money, it ain't even funny. Cameron Grimes. I wish I had that problem. So much money, it wasn't even funny. Pops open. Boom. And there he would be. Like I said, set of hands. Money would go there. And yeah, just looks really good. Cool little box. There he is. And he also comes with, which I've noticed they've done with the ringside exclusives, which I'm a big fan of, these little cardboard cutouts. You can kind of set it up as like a stage for a display. Look at that. Nice big piece of cardboard here. And just if he was making his entrance into the NXT zone, the Impact zone, so much money, it ain't even funny. Cool one. Cool one. Like this one a lot. Cameron Grimes or Trevor Lee. Whatever you want to call him. Finishing off with the wrestling figures, we are moving on to the final one that I got this month. And this is one of those figures that I mentioned at the beginning where, you know, I was pretty disappointed. And it's really unfortunate because I was very excited when this figure was announced and it was made available. And I was like, oh shit, you know, I want to get that eventually. And, you know, got it for the Black Friday sale. Great deal. And, man, when I got it, I was just super disappointed. And for a couple reasons. We'll show them off why. But without further ado, that figure that I was looking forward to is none other than probably one of the biggest stars in the business. It is Hollywood Hulk Hogan. This is a ringside exclusive. We'll show off the box real quick. I'll put the figure here. But there he is. Great looking figure. So here is the box. Actually, let's move him so we could show. There we go. So there's the box decked out in the Wolfpack NWO colors. It looks really good. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, ringside exclusive. Nice little shot of Hulkster there. On the back, exactly the same, which is good. I mean, this figure is not tan enough. That is one of the semi-issues I have with it, but yeah, you know, Hulk Hogan's the poster boy for insane tans, but you know what? The figure's not as tan. That's not a big deal to me. Another shot of him there. Boom. And one thing I love that they do with the ringside exclusives, Cameron Grimes had one, and also this Hulk Hogan has one, and this is probably one of my favorite ones that they've done. This is a WCW Nitro entrance ramp. This thing looks sick. Okay, I kind of folded it, and now it will stand properly. But yeah, this is a beautiful stage right here, and nice little setup. I was going to display this later, but you know, fuck it, I'll do it now. I guess we'll get all the positive stuff out of the way, but you can also have fellow NWO members here. I don't know if they're... Yeah, I was going to say they're not going to stand. I might need to... You know what? Let me get a good pose for everybody, and then we'll come back. There is the setup there. Everyone in their signature pose. You got Lex Luger over there with looking absolutely stunning. Looking muscular. That's the word I'm looking for. We got Scott Hall next to him. Hogan. You know, he'd usually, the way he would hold the championship was like he was strumming a guitar. So that's what I kind of tried to do here. And then Kevin Nash just being a big man. This is a nice little setup. I like this a lot. I really, really like this a lot. I like whenever they do the WCW stuff. Let's get to the negatives now. We got all the positive stuff out of the way, so let's get rid of these guys. And we're going to get rid of the background too, and then we're going to jump into the negative. Actually, one cool thing that also he comes with is an extra pair of hands, and he can do the too sweet to, you know, his fellow NWO members. Unfortunately, the coloring is pretty bad compared to, like, you know, that's... Hold on. Move that, get rid of this. The coloring on the hand is pretty bad. This is basically like orange compared to like a regular skin color. So that is kind of bad. That is still not my grievance, but that's just an issue with this figure. I've got one glaring issue with this. And honestly, like I said, I was pretty excited. I don't own too many Hogan figures, so this is the one that's kind of most memorable to me. And like I said, had high expectations for it and was severely disappointed. The first one, so he comes with a lot of cool accessories, sunglasses, bandana, cloth NWO shirt you can take off, the weight belts, and the championship, and like I showed you, extra pair of hands. So if we start to peel off the layers of the onion, we're going to come back to this title. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about it now. So it's a nice looking title, but there is a bit of an issue. I don't know if it's with all of them or just mine, where if you look closely on this side specifically, you can see the plate and it kind of has like a texture to it. But on this side here, it's like flat. It doesn't have anything to it. It's super weird. There's a comparison. You can kind of see the right side has a little more detail compared to the left, which has nothing. And then I was like, oh man, I have another heavyweight title. I wonder if it's similar to that. So here's the other one. This came with Fan Takeover Christian. And it kind of has the same issue here as the other belt. So I'm assuming this is just an issue with all the world heavyweight titles. So that was something I thought that was off at first, but that was the least of the things to come. So we got Hogan here, and right off the bat, looking super not jacked. Mr. Eat Your Vitamins, Say Your Prayers, looking super small. We'll talk about that in a second. When we take off his shirt, we're going to do it, you know, step by step. So we're going to take off the bandana. Boom, see the balding look. That's just how he looks. Always had the bandana to hold it. And here comes my biggest issue with this figure. You can see it a little bit, but when I take off these glasses, this gigantic black mark on the nose. I don't know if it was from the glasses, but it came like this. And I can probably take it off. I tried to scratch at it, but I think I need a nail polish remover. I think that's how I can get that off. If you have any tips, let me know in the comment section, but I believe it's nail polish remover. But yeah, when I unpacked it and I was looking at it all and I saw this, I was like, I mean, paint apps and shit happen, you know. For every, you know, 20 good figures, I might get one that's kind of fucked up on, got a bad paint situation. And that's just kind of what this is. And so we're going to take off the next, you know what, we'll take off the weight belts. We're going to take off the next piece, which we'll do the weight belts. Just like your typical title belts, same holes, same type of thing. These hands on Hogan also have the discoloration, so it's not just the one pair of hands. So if we take off the body, this was my other issue with this figure. I already kind of talked about it earlier. Way too thin. My God, he was never this ripped. But yeah, he's a bigger dude. Like, if you look at the torso compared to the waist, look how much fucking space is there. Like, it is not a flush proportion. And yeah, I did not like that at all. The arms are way too small. Would I have preferred if they took the Lex Luger body? I think this body would have worked out quite well. I would say the arms are more in line with Hogan compared to what Hogan got. And we'll show off Luger's body. I think that would have looked better on Hogan. He just looks way too small. And like I said, compared to the legs, it looks super tiny. You can see the figure is not, it's just kind of swimming. The torso is too small for the legs. And if you look at Luger, for example, the crotch piece and the torso fits pretty perfect. No issues. We'll even look at Scott Hall. Torso to tights ratio is pretty good. It's not over, it's not under, it's perfect. It fits the crotch piece. But yeah, this Hogan just way too small. And I guess you can say the tan isn't really accurate to what he looked like. He was, oh my God, he was almost purple at certain points in fucking WCW. We'll take a look at the back there. Like, he's a walking orange with that tan color. Like, and compared to this, the tan color doesn't bother me too much. It's more the body where it's just too small for Hogan. And of course, that little paint issue there. This figure left me very disappointed. Now, the paint app, that can happen to anybody. But the body itself, that is an issue with everybody. And I remember reading something, there's been a couple Hogans recently. There was one in the main Elite wave. It's the same wave as Ilya. The 2-pack, with the Mega Powers 2-pack, him and Macho. There's another Hollywood Hogan that came out in a WrestleMania pack. So there's been a lot of Hogans recently, and I remember seeing a bunch of people complaining about the body or something like that. I'm not sure if they were talking about this one specifically or the other ones I just mentioned, but this is definitely one that is pretty disappointing. I really wanted to like it, and I still kind of do. It's just hard for that, but like I said, that's kind of removable, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But yeah, the body thing, it's very distracting once you notice it, and you can kind of see it there. The body just looks so small compared to the legs. I don't own many Hogan figures. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Hogan fan, but when I think of Hogan and like his most memorable stuff to me, it's that NWO run. And, you know, I wanted a figure to commemorate that. I like the WCW figures, like I said earlier. A bit of a disappointment, unfortunately, but what are you going to do? All right, last but not least, we are ending out with Marvel Legends. This is the collection that I got the most for. Got a couple goodies that I'm pretty excited about. Got some of the plastic-free packaging, so we're going to have to open some stuff up. And I got some obscure people who, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea who the fuck they are. We'll start out with one of those. That character is Darkstar. I have no clue who this is. Like, not the faintest clue. Actually, to be honest, let's read the description because it's giving me some insight. So we got, drafted as a Soviet operative on a nefarious mission, Elena Petronova eventually broke free from the system and began to use her super secret skills to her own ends. That doesn't tell me anything. She's Russian, her name was whatever. It doesn't say anything about her powers, but I'm going to assume cosmic, because that looks like she's in space in the background. That looks like an alien trying to eat her soul. I don't know if she's a Nova Corp. It kind of looks like a Nova Corp symbol. But yeah, I have no idea who this is. Amazon just had her for like a super sick price, and I was like, the price is too good not to get, even though I have no freaking idea who she is. You know, I'll do some research, and maybe I can like set her up beside somebody else already in my collection that she kind of goes with. Like I said, she looks like a space character, so maybe I'll put her with, do I have any other space characters? There's somebody I can put her beside, but yeah, as a character, she looks pretty plain looking. She has this huge Build-A-Figure piece to build out Ursa Major, and she actually comes with 2 extra sets of hands. That is mind-boggling to me, especially for a female character who usually they don't get as much accessories as the males. So it's cool to see that she got all that. But yeah, just a regular looking Marvel Legends. We'll show off the box. So there she is, Dark Star. There's the side profile, exact same shot on the other side. Nothing on the top. Bottom has some boring stuff, and we already saw the back, but there are other people in the wave with her. Very Iron Man heavy wave. I don't have too much to say because I really don't know anything about her. She's okay. You know, I have nothing to say about her. It was just super cheap, and it was like I had to buy it. That's how I justified it. A character that I do know a little less than, but I am familiar with her. And this is my next Marvel Legends purchase. This was someone that was selling their collection. I ended up buying this figure and the next one that I'm going to show. But the first one is Cloak and Dagger. This is Dagger. So if you look on the side there, there's Cloak on top. There's Dagger. They are a twosome, a duo, I guess you'd say. I don't know why I said twosome, duo. And they usually appear in Spider-Man comics. That's who they're usually associated with. I know they recently had a live-action show. I don't know how well it did, but they had one. I need Cloak still. But yeah, this is just a cool one. She did not get any real accessories compared to Dark Star. She only has the 1 set of hands. She does come with this effect piece and a Build-A-Figure piece, but that is about it in the box. Cool little figure. We'll show off the box. So there she is, Dagger and Cloak. Same thing on the other side. Bottom's got some boring stuff. Top is a little dusty. I did not clean it. That's just the way it came. Honestly, what I'm surprised too, when I looked at the top of the Dark Star box, I was expecting some sort of logo here. That's usually what they do with Marvel Legends. But yeah, here, Cloak, Dagger, the C and the D, and the little dagger there. And there they are on the box, and then the wave. And speaking of wave, the next person that we're going to be introducing is actually in this wave. It could be one of those 7 people. I was going to say 6 because I saw the number 6 there, but Doc Ock is also in this wave. He just doesn't count for a Build-A-Figure piece. So that person that will be joining Dagger is unfortunately not Cloak, which would have been cool to get the duo, but it is Elektra. I've been wanting her for a while because she will now look very good alongside with my Daredevil. Now I got both of them together. That's really cool. Now I have them together that I can pose. And she looks badass, to be honest. I like it. She comes with her size. Would have liked an extra set of hands, but like I said, the female characters usually get gypped in that category. Comes with the Build-A-Figure piece. Classic Elektra look. I'm pretty happy with it. They just released an Elektra 3-pack. It came out a few weeks ago. It's a 3-pack of Bullseye, Daredevil, and Elektra. I was never really intending on buying it. You know, I have this Elektra. I already had the Daredevil, and the Bullseye that comes with it, I'm not really a fan of. But I do need to get a Bullseye next. Whenever I see somebody selling one. It is on my radar. I still need to get a Bullseye. But yeah, Elektra I think looks really cool. I like her little logo there. And we'll just show off the box. Nice little shot of her there. Her on the back. We already saw the rest of the wave. Another shot of her. Boring stuff on the bottom. And her logo on the top. So yeah, this is a really cool one. that she can now join Daredevil, and I can set her up with Punisher and Kingpin and Luke Cage, Iron Fist, people like that. Next, this is one of the newer Marvel Legends that's been released recently. Been excited for this one, mainly because I'm a big X-Men fan. Honestly, I was surprised to see it on sale because it is so new. And I was like, oh man, is this wrong? Like, is this supposed to be this price? And it just came out. But yeah, Toys R Us was having like this clear out deal. And they even put stuff that was like brand new on sale. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy this before someone's like, oh, you should. We got to correct that mistake. I am talking about Longshot on the Retro X-Men card. Like I said, this is a new wave that somewhat recently came out. There's everyone in the wave. We got Wolverine, Dark Phoenix, Longshot, Multiple Man, Avalanche, and Spiral. Spiral I'm still waiting for. I just got a notification from Big Bad Toy Store that she arrived, which is pretty cool. Avalanche, I'm going to be honest, you'll be seeing him here in just a minute. But as far as everyone else in the wave, I already have a Multiple Man. I already have a Jean Grey. I already have a Wolverine. I was just interested in the 3. So, anyways, Longshot. I think it looks good. I have no issues. It comes with his statules, a knife, a couple different hands here. He's got a hand that's holding daggers already, little knives, whatever you want to call it. The only thing I wasn't a fan of, and I was kind of debating buying this instead of the, or not buying this and then buying the Mojo World, was the fact that his eye was colored. And in the Mojo 4-pack, his eye isn't colored with the little yellow beam. I was like, it's not that big of a deal. Why the fuck would I pay like triple the price? Actually, I think it might have been 4 times the price for a little non-painted eye version. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I ended up swinging with this one, and I'm very happy with it. Now I have a Longshot. Just like Elektra and Daredevil go together, Longshot also has a partner in crime, and that is Dazzler. So now I got the 2 of them together, and they look really cool. Card looks good, not much to show off because it is the retro card, and just basically like one side. There's nothing on the sides, it's just the back and the front. So little back shot there, and a nice little front shot here. Pretty happy with it. I'm always a fan when we get this retro carding stuff, whether it be Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Ghost Rider coming up soon. I'm a sucker for these. I was going to buy this regardless. Also in that wave, who we kind of already talked about, which is Avalanche, an X-Men villain. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little disappointed with this one. I know going into this, like when they actually revealed him on stream or whatever stream they did, and they announced him and revealed him, I was like, oh man, that looks kind of plain. That's a really plain looking Avalanche. And then when I got it in hand, I was like, I really am not a fan of it. But yeah, here he is, Avalanche. So I do have a couple issues with it. Like it's faithful to the comics, but it just looks so plain and small. Compared to this guy here, he looks more jacked and just like a bigger guy. I would have liked this on a bigger body, a slightly bigger body, like whatever the next one up is from this. Not like a Incredible Hulk, but you know, the Razorback from the last video. I did that 5-pack, the Spidey 5-pack, and Razorback had that huge body. I think that would have been good for Avalanche here, because yeah, he just looks so small and does not look menacing at all. I think one thing I also would have liked, I think this might have made him look a little cooler, if it was just the whites of his eyes. Like, you can see the pupils there. If it was more like this, maybe even that expression, where, you know, he just looks kind of bored here. He's like, why the fuck am I here? Why am I trapped in this plastic box? If it was more like this incarnation of him, I think it would have been cool. That type of face, I think I would have been a bigger fan of. But yeah, he just looks kind of boring and pretty plain. And that is his suit. But there are some different versions of Avalanche where, you know, he has the A on the chest. He's kind of a bigger dude. And I wish they would have done that instead. Also, maybe an effect piece would have been cool with him. Because, like, you see Avalanche, it's like, what the fuck does he do? So if he came, like, maybe with this kind of swirly piece. Not this one exactly, but something similar. Where it kind of shows that he's making vibrations in the ground. Something along those lines, I think would have added to it as well. Just a little a little kind of boring for me. I know we've waited a long time for an Avalanche, so I don't want to complain about it. Honestly, my favorite Avalanche that there's been a few Avalanche figures. The other one that I'm really a fan of was the I believe it was Toy Biz. It was X-Men line. It was similar to Marvel Legends, same articulation type of stuff. That Avalanche looked sick. I'll put a picture of it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I would have liked something like that, but again, this is his classic look, so I'm not too angry about it, but I'm slightly disappointed, even though I knew he was going to look like this, so I should have lowered my expectations. Slightly disappointing, I'll say, but cool to have him. Now we're getting into the plastic-free packaging zone, and this next two characters is actually a two-pack. This is a two-pack that I ordered on Hasbro Pulse because this is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Usually what I'll do is I'll just pre-order whatever's announced and then kind of cancel it, whether I'm like, I'm not really interested, or, whatever the case may be, price is too high, I see it cheaper somewhere else. With this one, I forgot about it. I forgot that I pre-ordered it. That's my own fault. I can't complain. To be honest, I don't even know who the fuck these guys are. And who I'm talking about is Marvel Legends Heralds of Galactus. We've got the Fallen One over here and Terrax. Fallen One I've never heard, I've never seen. Terrax I've seen a few times, I think it was in comics or something like that. But yeah, Fallen One I've not seen at all. So I'm kind of familiar with this design, and he does look pretty badass. I like his weapon, and he just looks like a big dude. Yeah, but these guys, I have no idea about them. Actually, I know they're the Heralds. Oh yeah, the new packaging doesn't have the doesn't have bios or anything like that. That sucks. I know they're Heralds of Galactus. Unfortunately, I do not have the HasLabs Galactus, so they're just Heralds of nothing for the time being. If I ever get the Galactus, but for that, I'd probably have to spend $1,000. Probably won't be happening anytime soon, but we'll just take a look at the box, the plastic-free packaging. So there they are on the front. Looking pretty cool. On the side, got action shots of them in figure form. There they are on the back. I guess Terrax doesn't come with any accessories, at least according to this. We've got some comic accurate versions of them there. On the top, Heralds of Galactus. And on the bottom, boring stuff. So we're going to cut from this side. Oh, tape check. Tape has not been touched. There's the tape. Tape has not been touched. Part of the reason I do all these pre-orders is so I don't miss out. Because sometimes they'll announce a character and that shit will just sell out quickly. And especially when it's an exclusive to a certain store, like Hasbro Pulse, those tend to sell out pretty quick. So that's why I pre-ordered it. And then I was like, do I really want it? No, but Hasbro Pulse said, hey, you know what? You really need this in your collection. This does not want to come out. Oh, we've got some progress. Hell yeah. Never mind. Why is this so hard to open? Okay, here we go. It really was stuck in there. I don't know if that's a good sign or bad sign, so let's take them out. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. I was like, am I going to struggle with that too? Okay, in the box we've got safety stuff, but we are wild childs here. We have this little baggie that just popped out. And here they are. So we'll take a look at these guys in a second. Let's take a look at the accessories real quick. And one thing I gotta say, Power Rangers is kicking Marvel's ass with the packaging, giving us nice Power Rangers themed packaging. Will Marvel Legends, catch up? We'll have to wait to see. So the accessories, we've got two hands for the Fallen One. We've got a fisted hand and just kind of a gripping hand. Nothing much to say about there, just plain blue. We've got some effects for the Fallen One as well. I get something similar to this for Avalanche would have been cool. Without the bubbles, but like these kind of rings. That's kind of what I would have wanted on on Avalanche. And then last but not least, we have the weapon for Terax. It looked bigger on the box. I guess it is small. I don't know why it looks so ginormous. Maybe it's here because it's hidden, so you don't know how far back it goes. I don't know. I thought this would be quite taller, but it's quite small. Now, let's get our boys out without damaging the packaging. Okay, they've introduced this new feet cubby. Maybe for future 2-packs. Whoops. Here's one. Here's 2. Okay, we'll take a look at Fallen One first because he is pretty plain compared to the other guys. Just give me 1 second. Let me clear my area. Okay, here he is. I gotta say, the hair is gorgeous. Beautiful. Sparkling. Maybelline. Cool hair. Nothing much else to say about the figure. This is tight. Holy shit. Just trying to twist the hands off, but is that a black mark or is there black? Hold on, let me just check this figure out. Because there's a mark of some sort there, but I don't know if it's like an effect that's all over his body. And it does look like that is a single isolated incident. Yeah, I don't see anything else. There's a little mark there, though. This hand moved fine. It rotates. This one, not at all. Let's maybe pull it out. Yeah, I don't know. Because we have the other hand we can put in. Ooh, there it is. Okay, this one's fine. Cool. Yeah, really not much to say about this guy. He does feel huge, but honestly, I don't play around with Marvel Legends too much because most of them are in box. The only time I really have them in hand is when I'm testing out the joints and have them out of the plastic-free packaging. Not really much to say about the guy. He, I don't know, is he made of stardust? No idea. Oh, the legs do not come out very far. That is interesting. Okay, that's as far as his legs go. Good articulation there. I was surprised about the splits. And we'll try one of his effect pieces on his hand. He is blasting you with Maybelline hair. I don't know. I'm assuming he's a god of some sorts to a certain degree or some powerful cosmic entity. The only thing he really has going for him, in my opinion, is his beautiful sparkly hair. And he's got a decent face. I don't mind that screaming face. But as far as the body and anything else, it's a plain navy blue and not much to say. It's all in the hair. And let's take a look at Terax. A little tear in his baggie. Actually, oh my god. His bag is falling apart. This is a big boy here. This is probably the one that you're going to want to pay for. Here he is. I was checking out this little indentation, but I think it's just maybe, I don't know, I'll just consider it like battle damage. Ooh, what is here? I think just some messing up of the plastic, but this guy here is a tank. Absolute unit. Towers over the Fallen One. It's Fallen One, right? Yeah, Fallen One. Forgot his name for a second. He's so forgettable. He is a big, big boy. I like him. Looking absolutely jacked. I am a big fan. He doesn't come with any hands, so in the accessories, like what you see on the back, that's exactly what he comes with. Just his battle axe, nothing else. I like that head sculpt. It's like, what did you say to me? Looking great. His beard, kind of. Would that be considered a beard? We got Buddy over here with the great hair, and then Terax with the great beard. Hell of a duo, I guess, yeah. One has no facial hair. This one has somewhat facial hair. And then Buddy over here, unfortunately, no hair. But, ooh, leg does not want to... There we go. Just testing out the joints. See if anything's loose. Everything seems pretty tight to too tight. Looking good. Let's put the axe in his hand. Actually, let's compare the axe to Fallen One. Let's see the size. The axe is bigger than him. Technically. Just excuse me, just by a hair. But let's put this in his hand, possibly. Okay, that was a little bit hard, but I got it done, and there it is. Sits well in his hand, doesn't slide or anything, and he looks like a pretty menacing dude. I was thinking that he might be good for Avalanche, if Avalanche was on this body, but honestly, this is too jacked. I think the Razorback from the 5-pack, I think that's what I would have gone with. This guy's just way too big to be Avalanche. This is a sick figure. I like this one a lot. He looks cool. He looks really cool. No complaints here. And then we'll put them side by side. We already saw them. Oh, he's actually standing. I don't know if Fallen One wants to stand. No, he's living up to the name. He's the Fallen One. Yeah, these look cool. I am pretty happy with this. For some guys that I don't know at all, quite happy. Especially Terax, absolute unit of a figure. Love this one a lot. I mainly love his weapon. His weapons are so cool. It's like an axe, but it's like a small axe, but like it looks tiny in his hands. Like it just, you know, he wields it with power though. And then Fallen One, nice hair. Nice hair, dude. Let me clean up and then we'll go on to the last figure, or figures. It's another multi-pack, so give me 1 second. To be honest, I wasn't even supposed to get it this month, so I pre-ordered this on Amazon. This is an Amazon exclusive. It's a 3-pack. I guess we'll just show off the figures. Show off the box. It is the Life Foundation 3-pack along with Venom. To complete the Life Foundation, I also have the other members. We'll show them together when we unbox Riot and Agony. But yeah, this one wasn't supposed to come this month. I pre-ordered this whenever it was announced, and then I got a shipping notification update like, oh, you know, it's going to be late. It was supposed to come December 21st. I got a notification about a few days before, and it's like, you know what, it's been delayed till the last week of December. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then I got another one saying, oh, it's coming like the 3rd week in January. I'm like, you know what, that's perfectly fine. I don't mind that. And then on Christmas Eve, at like, as soon as it turned Christmas Eve, like 12 in the morning, I got an email saying, hey, your figure's shipped out, and it'll be there by the end of the day. I'm like, what's gonna come by the end of the day? I look at my email, and it is this 3-pack, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why? You guys just told me it's coming in the middle of January, and now you changed. Okay, whatever. I was like, ah, whatever. It's coming. I'm gonna be honest. I thought this would be bigger. I will bring. We got Electra to compare. So yeah, the box is pretty small. I thought it'd be huge because Riot is a big figure and Venom's a big guy, but that's about the size of it. It's almost comparable to regular Marvel Legends, but I was very surprised. This is a pretty small box for 3 figures inside and 1 ginormous figure inside. So yeah, I like this comic style. I like this little comic action shot. And then we got them on the side, Riot, Agony, and Venom. Same thing on the other side. Actually, one thing I do not like about this, and I noticed it as soon as I pulled it out, no tape. No tape at all, top or bottom. So if there's anything missing or it is fucked up, not my fault. There's no tape was packaged with this, which I was very surprised. I had to double check when I saw this. I was like, did the 5-pack not come with tape? Like, what the fuck? And then I checked out the 5-pack, the Spider-Man 5-pack. It had tape on it. So I was like, oh man, this is really weird that this doesn't have tape on it. So in case anything happens, there is no tape on the box. And then we got a description of everybody on the back. On the top, it says Venom. And on the bottom, boring stuff. So yeah, when I did open this and I saw there was no tape, part of my heart sank, and I was like, oh my god, did somebody return this or something like that? Like, is something fucked up in this box? Unfortunately, don't need my cutter, so we'll just put that to the side. I'm gonna open from, seems like the top is open more, so we'll just pull from here. So yeah, part of me is like ready for something to be wrong, but I hope not. Oh, did I break the, oh no, okay, that's the flap. I was pulling it and I pulled too hard. Okay, let's they really maximize the usage in this box. So let's what do we got here? We got loose piece, loose piece. Is this Agony's head? Yeah, it is. What the fuck? Her figure doesn't even come with the head on it? What? A lot of little baggies. Yeah, here is Agony with no head. That is strange. And let's pull out our other boys. Venom. Here he is. And Riot. Okay. So, we got Venom, Riot, and Headless Agony. That's why they call her Agony. She doesn't have a head. It's crazy. So let's start with all the little baggies first. We've got 4 of them. So in this one, we have... This is Venom's accessories. We've got a Venom fisted hand and another Venom fisted hand. It looks good. It feels weird. It feels very... I don't know how to describe it. Very, like, gooey. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like plastic. Same thing with the head. It just feels very weird. But I don't mind it. I've got a pearlescent white on the eyes. I like that. That looks pretty cool. But there is Venom. Because he does come with the other head with the symbiote kind of half off. And you see the Eddie Brock head. So there's Venom's accessories. Let's see this big one. We've got Riot's back. Okay. I mean, he is a big figure. So, you know, we got the back portion. A hand symbiote weapon for Riot as well. And last but not least, we've got Agony's accessories, which are 2 hands, 2 pink-fisted hands. Probably the most jarring accessory out of all these is Agony's head. Was not expecting that, but honestly, when you think of the hair and stuff, I guess it'd be hard to package in. But yeah, looks good. I like the face, and the hair looks nice. Nice little pink. I like it. Actually, speaking of Agony, we'll do her first. I am just so traumatized that she doesn't have a head that I want her to have some peace. So here we go. Here is her body. Ooh, stiff torso. And there's the ball joint for the head. We'll just take a look at the body real quick because the hair will probably come down quite a bit and block off some stuff. So we'll put that on after. But yeah, here she is. Kind of looking like a flame effect here. Oh, she's got feet. Claws for the feet. That's cool. Claws for the hands. And yeah, I like all the purple, pink kind of blending in. I like it. Okay, let's pop on the head. It seems like it's going to be hard with the hair in the way. I'm going to aim it down. Okay, I do not like this at all. I was rotating the head. Oh, no, I don't like that at all. Hold on. Come off! Oh, it's like... it doesn't want to come off. Oh, no. This is no good. And I can't really twist it because it's taking the whole joint with it when I try and turn it. I want to take this off. This is not good. I do not like this. Like, anytime I try and twist the head, you can kind of see the whole joint is moving with it. I do not like that. I feel like I'm going to fucking snap the neck joint. Ugh. I think it's in, but it doesn't want to come out. So I'm going to try and... Ugh, I do not like that at all. The head is not on. I'm going to have to play with this one off camera because I'll have to run it through some hot water, do something, because trying to take this off, I feel like I'm going to take off the whole thing. But we'll just show it off for now. Yeah, it's unfortunate about the head. It doesn't look like it was pushed all the way down. Looks like there's still a lot of neck going on. Looks cool, though. Just kind of worried about my neck joint at the moment, but cool looking symbiote figure. I like it. Sorry, I'm just kind of concerned right now, but you know, we'll just get through the review first. Next, we will look at Venom. And here we have Venom. Yeah, he does have like a texture to him that's different. Like, I don't, it feels like gooey. Like, it feels like there's an actual symbiote on him. I think this might have been a good body for Avalanche. My light looks like it's going to die here in a second. Come on. Where he's smaller than Terrax. Actually, I still have Terrax out. Let's do a little comparison. Yeah, Terrax just towers over him. Yeah, I think Avalanche on this body would have been pretty good. We might bring him again to compare him to Riot, but I do like this half-on, half-off symbiote. I do have one Venom, and the one that I have comes with the Eddie Brock head. And the reason I got that as my Venom in my collection is because it came with the Eddie Brock head. And this one just looks cool, like with the half symbiote, like they're trying to rip the symbiote off him. He looks awesome. Let's try taking off this head. Hopefully there's no issues. And pop on the other head. Yeah, this just looks like a way stronger neck joint than what fucking Agony has. It's holding on by a thread. I'm trying not to think about that right now. This one went on like a glove. Here he is, Venom with the actual Venom suit complete. Looks good. I like it. Yeah, you can see like he looks wet. And that's kind of cool. It kind of brings the symbiotes to life. Yeah, this one looks awesome. I like this Venom. This is a sick Venom. I like that tongue too. I like that head sculpt. Yeah, this is a cool one. I like this one a lot. To round out the Life Foundation, we've got our big boy. We've got Riot. He's ginormous. Let's put on his back piece. Hopefully we can take it off. Oh, that feels like it's... That clicked like it's not coming. Yeah, I don't think that's coming off. No, that's in now. That's part of it. I can't. Okay, I'm gonna have to pack him like ginormously. Okay, that sucks. Maybe is there a way? I don't know. It kind of doesn't seem like it's on fully, but I don't want to fucking break it. Maybe. Hold on. Don't snap. I don't want to hear anything snap. Okay, we can get the back off. I got this side off. I'm assuming I can get this side off too. So we'll just pop it in place for now and just show the figure off. This one looks cool. I think this is the only one that's not really as accurate compared to all the other symbiotes. Where I believe Riot's supposed to be like gray. Just based on the pictures that I've seen. Actually, if you look at his symbiote, it looks like... it's kind of like tearing. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like his head too. His face just looks monstrous compared to Daddy Venom and Sister Agony. This is a symbiote family reunion. That's cute. God damn it, light. Okay, we got phone light, which is not great light, but it's still some light. Okay, so you can't really lift up the arms without the back popping out. Okay, and it looks like it's going to scratch the plastic if you go too forward up with the shoulder joint. Bicep swivel. Okay. Yeah, looking good. This one seems like it goes up easier than this one here. Oh, there. Well, it did go in, but it like popped the back off. So that seems kind of annoying. But yeah, I do like the kind of wet look that the symbiote has. Unfortunately, Agony doesn't have that. Hers just looks very matte, where everyone else is kind of glossy. I like that for the symbiote look, where it looks gooey, it looks like it's alive. Yeah, it looks sick. Oh, he's even got jaw articulation. Does he? Or is this a soft? I think this is soft. I don't see anything for the jaw. I think there's just a soft jaw. So you can kind of have him eat Venom or something. Take a bite out of him. This was the one I was kind of interested to see how it turned out. But he looks cool. I really like how Riot looks. And now that we've got everybody, let's try. I'm going to try and do a Life Foundation display. Give me 1 second. Agony is not going to stand because the head is just, she's way too top heavy. That head's just going to take the body down. But there's a Life Foundation with Venom. We'll just remove him for a second. But we've got Phage, Lasher, Scream, Agony, and Riot. The team is now complete. That is really cool. And then we got Venom here. Actually, one thing I forgot to do was try on his little saw blade hand. So let's do that real quick. Oh, that came off pretty easy. I thought I was going to have to really yank. Went on somewhat smoothly. I know it's like not correct. I don't know if this is on the right hand or left hand. There it is. There's a saw blade. It doesn't look right though. I don't know. Maybe I have it the wrong way. But there he is. And one thing I noticed when I was putting on the hand is this clicking, like these little symbiote bits tapping on the hollow back of Riot. I don't know, that seems like it would drive me nuts if I was playing with it as a kid. Yeah, the whole back system with the arm, and I don't know about that. I wish they just could have made him one piece. Maybe make the box bigger. I think the box bigger would have been better. Like Agony, the head would have been on. I wouldn't have had this stupid neck issue. Riot in the back, that would have been cool. Venom didn't have any issues because he's just a small guy. Yeah, it's just unfortunate about the other ones. But yeah, Riot, I don't really have any complaints. Just this hollowness is kind of annoying. Like I said, we've got the whole team here. And this is a cool one to complete. I like this one a lot. I really like the Venom, to be honest. Venom and Riot. I love that wet look to their symbiote suit, like it's alive. Actually, I want to pop on the other head because I do like the Eddie Brock head. That's a sick head right there. I like that one a lot. He looks absolutely fucked, taking on 5 symbiotes. Actually, that's a nice little shot there. You see Venom, and then add a shot, you see the 5 Life Foundation symbiotes. Oh, that looks cool. Honestly, I was the least excited for Venom, but he's probably my most favorite out of everything in this package here. Yeah, he looks. Oh, one thing I wanted to do, I wanted to compare Terrax and Riot. Pretty much eye to eye. Yeah, pretty much eye to eye, and I think they look cool. Probably, I really like the Terrax, even though I know nothing about him. I'm really, like, scared about the Agony, though, that neck joint, and I can't really pull off the head, so if I wanted to repack it, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm going to try and run it through some hot water, and see. I will update the video with some comments or something. I'll put in, like, a little blurb here to just kind of notify you guys about anything that happens with the neck. If it like completely snaps off or breaks, I will let you guys know. But a little disappointed in Agony, but I do like her colors a lot. Like the pink just really stands out. It's just unfortunate about the neck, but what are you gonna do? That is all that I have to show off for this month. So now we will jump into my pre-orders. What did I pre-order this month? And news, lots and lots of news, lots of cool figure news. So let's jump into that right now. All right, you've seen what I got for the month. Now let's talk about some pre-orders and figure news. Bunch of cool figure news and a couple cool pre-orders. First off, we're starting out with Power Rangers Lightning Collection Alien Ranger 5-pack. We talked about that on the last episode where it was kind of leaked. It wasn't officially confirmed. Well, during the month of December, it was officially confirmed, and it's going to be an Amazon exclusive. This I'm pretty excited for. Like I said before, I like the Alien Ranger design, and this is actually going to be the second time we get a 5-pack. The first one was the Psycho Rangers, which is also an Amazon exclusive. I don't remember if I mentioned that, but the Alien Ranger 5-pack will be an Amazon exclusive. The only downside to this, which we kind of knew from the leak, was that there wasn't going to be any civilian heads. I'm kind of fine with that, to be honest. I really didn't expect it, so I'm not disappointed in that. I would have loved for them to get civilian heads. Maybe they might release it eventually. They might put it as like an extra accessory for something. We'll have to wait to see, but the 5-pack itself will not come with civilian heads. But the Rangers all look cool, so I can't wait to get that in hand. And then the other two things I pre-ordered were Marvel Legends. The first one was Ronin the Accuser, which was just announced randomly. And this is going to be another Amazon exclusive. This is a more comic-accurate Ronin the Accuser. I think he looks pretty good. He looks, like he does in the comics. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that they do the same thing with the Guardians this year. And then the other thing I pre-ordered was the officially announced Marvel Legends Blob. Now, this was announced alongside a bunch of other stuff. So on December 6th, the Marvel Legends team, they had a fan stream, and they announced a bunch of different figures. One of them was the Blob Deluxe. A couple of the other figures that were announced were also put up for pre-order. But for me personally, I just did the Blob. The other things that they revealed in the fan stream was 2 X-Men 3-packs. One has Banshee, Psylocke, and Gambit, and the other has Forge, Storm, and Jubilee, and they all come in this yellow and blue costume. I'm not too familiar with that story or why they were all in that uniform. I have all those characters except Banshee, so I'm hoping they eventually release a single-carded Banshee, maybe on a retro card. Hey, as far as those other 5, I already have them, so I'm not too interested in this, but it's cool for people that want it. They announced the Blob, which, a lot of people have been asking for, so that's a cool one. The figure itself looks really good. It looks like a really large man, so they did a good job. I like how it turned out. They also announced a new Rogue. This was another one that it's not for me. I already have a Rogue figure. Me personally, I prefer that animated show design with the jacket and the green and the yellow. This design here, she's in a green and black outfit. I believe it was called Outback. I don't know if that's the story or whatever the case may be. They announced a Kraven based on the animated show, the Spider-Man animated show. I don't remember if they said this was going to be in the VHS box. I'm assuming because it's an animated show that it would be in the VHS box, but I don't believe they announced that. I could be wrong. But as far as the Kraven, it doesn't look as good as I thought it would be. I thought I would be craving... no pun intended for that. I thought I'd be craving a Kraven that was in that attire, but me personally, I already have a Kraven, and I'm pretty happy with it. But sometimes, when you see that animated show look, it can kind of sway you. I took a look at it, and it really didn't do it for me. So I'm happy with the Kraven I got, and it's cool that they're doing an animated show Kraven, but for me personally, this was a skip. They announced a new Spider-Man figure based on the Spider-Man game, the Marvel Spider-Man game, the PS4, PS5 game. He's got that big white spider on his chest. That would probably be a skip for me too. I'm not crazy about that design, and I already have a couple of Spideys that I'm happy with. And then they also announced X-Men Wave that's going to be coming out. And in the wave, it's going to be Kid Omega, who I'm kind of familiar with. A character called Fang, who I think I've heard of. Chamber, who I'm pretty excited about. Monet, not familiar with. Corsair, who's Cyclops' dad. That's a pretty cool one. Definitely want to pick that up. Astonishing Emma Frost, who... I'm going to be honest, this is the one that I want the most. I've been wanting a classic-looking Emma Frost, and this is it. This is the Emma Frost that I'd really like to add to my collection, so I'm definitely going to be picking this up. And the other figure they announced was Astonishing Cyclops. Pass for me on that one. But yeah, that Emma Frost, honestly, best thing in this... Actually, I really like Chamber, but Emma Frost is my biggest want. I've wanted a classic-looking Emma in that white attire, so that will definitely be a for sure pickup for me. Chamber probably as well. Corsair as well. Kid Omega, Fang, and Monet. I'm not too sure. I'll have to do some more research on them. I do like X-Men, and I'll probably collect everything X-Men related, but with them, I don't know. Yeah, I will probably get them, to be honest. They're definitely not going to be something I'm clamoring to. I'm not super excited about those 3. And then the other thing announced from Marvel Legends, this was just kind of announced on a whim. They announced that they're going to be doing a Franklin Richards, which is Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman's son. They have twins. I believe it's Valerie and Franklin are their names. And they both have powers. And with this Franklin... I'm going to be honest, I don't keep up with Fantastic Four comics, so when I think of Franklin, I think of him as a young child. In this one, he's grown up. He looks like he's in his mid-teens, maybe early 20s, and it's not for me. But it's cool that it's there. And this, I'm not sure if it's going to be an exclusive for anywhere, because usually when they announce like solo figures, it's usually an exclusive, maybe for Walmart or something like that. They didn't announce anything that I'm aware of. Could be wrong, but he will be getting a figure coming up soon. Moving on to some more news, we got some McFarlane news. They were pretty quiet in the month of December, but they did announce something that was pretty cool, that I thought was pretty cool. They announced this figure called Fulcrum Abominus. That is going to be a mega fig, and basically what it is it's this giant robot, and think of it like a Megazord, where you think of a Megazord and it's all 5 Rangers and they combine their Zords and then you get the Megazord. Well, this is kind of a Megazord for the Justice League. If you take a look at it, it's got like a Superman Megazord part, a Batman, a Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman, and Flash and Green Lantern. I think I got all those, and it just looks really cool. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it, but I just thought it was really cool looking because, you know, I'm a big Power Ranger guy. This really appealed to me. I don't know if I will buy it, but it really caught my eye, so I just thought that was a pretty cool thing to shout out if nobody has seen that yet. Next, we got some SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball announcement. They revealed a new Broly based on his look from the Dragon Ball superhero movie. I know that's a terrible name for a movie. It's just a regular looking Broly. He's in a black shirt. Apparently that's what he looks like in the movie. I have yet to watch the movie. I've tried to watch it, but everything I've tried to find on it is all Japanese. And I'm trying to find like an English dub. I know, that's crazy. Animation looks so cool. I don't want to be reading subtitles and trying to look at the action at the same time. So I'd rather just focus on the action and understand what's being said to me. So I have not watched it yet, but I do like the way this Broly looks. I do want a regular Broly because I already have the full power Super Saiyan one. But like I want him in the Saiyan armor type. And I know there's a figure of that, but I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to grab that without paying an arm and a leg. And I do have an opportunity to get this Broly here. I'm still debating on it. It was really close to pre-ordering it a few times. I might end up pre-ordering it, to be honest. As of right now, I have not. It's very tempting because I do want a regular looking Broly, but I think the figure looks really cool. I will probably end up picking this up, to be honest. I really like how it looks. Next, we got some Power Rangers Lightning Collection news. Not really news, but leaks. These leaks can kind of, we can kind of see what potential will be coming out in the near future. So the first one that was leaked was possibly the next Zord Ascension project. So there was this photo that was posted on Twitter by some people in Brazil who were invited to a presentation by Hasbro, and they took a photo of one of the slides that was going on, and it shows the Zord Ascension project, and it looks like the White Tiger Zord from Mighty Morphin. So I'm pretty excited about that if that's the case. I know they're supposed to be announcing some stuff in January, so hopefully that will be the next one. We have yet to get the Astro Megazord, which is supposed to be the next one that's kind of coming out. And then I would assume that the White Tiger Zord will follow that. I definitely want to see some pictures of the White Tiger Zord because I was always a fan. I always thought it looked really cool. And then the other thing that was leaked, and this one, I'm going to be honest, it kind of irked me. Another picture was leaked on Twitter. This time it was a picture of the Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger, and he was in the new packaging, the plastic-free packaging. For me, what's really interesting about this is a couple things. So first, the title on the package, Power Rangers Lightning Collection Remastered. Honestly, when I read that, it kind of irritated me. And I'll explain why in a second. The other thing that I think is pretty cool is, honestly, it's the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers this year. So I fully expected them to re-release the Mighty Morphin Rangers somehow. My idea was I thought they would do a 5-pack, similar to the Alien Rangers. Just do a 5-pack, have the whole team complete. So if people want it, they can get them all there. But it looks like they're going to be doing individual releases, which honestly it makes more sense because they can make more money that way, releasing all the figures individually. And people will buy it because they fucking love Mighty Morphin. I like Mighty Morphin too, but at this point, I'm kind of ready to move on. I'm not too interested in this whole remastered thing. But anyways, back to the whole remastered portion. In my opinion, it looks bad because, when you think of a remaster, you mainly associate it with video games, right? You take a game like BioShock. BioShock was a game that came out on the PS3. A couple years ago, they remastered it and put it out on the newer gen consoles. And that makes sense. Came out on PS3, you're going to put it on PS4, spruce it up, give it a nice little aesthetic, maybe better lighting, different stuff like that, better graphics, better water physics. For me, it just looks really bad for figures. Like, I don't think I've ever seen an action figure get remastered. And the thing that really annoys me is the line is less than 5 years old and you're already doing figure remasters? What in the fuck? That looks so bad on your figures. Like, what does that say about everything that you've put out so far? That they're shit? That it's garbage? That it's not up to par? For me, it's just a really, really bad look for Lightning Collection, in my opinion. Some people might like it, be like, no, I like it, they can fix this, fix that. That's cool, but the whole remastered portion it just shits on everything that you've previously released. Because it all looks like it's garbage. Is every figure going to get a remaster? Is it just going to be the Mighty Morphin Rangers? Like, who's subject to get remastered? I'm assuming everybody. But I think there's figures out there that don't need to be remastered. Like the Finster figure, I think looks incredible. Like there's nothing I would remaster with that. There's a couple Rangers I think could use a remastering. Off the top of my head, Dino Thunder White, just because that whole debacle with the helmet coming unpainted. So if you want to buy the Dino Thunder White Ranger correctly, you have to buy it wrong with the wrong helmet, and then you have to order it from Hasbro. They'll send it to you for free, but that's still a nuisance. So I can see that getting remastered. But Mighty Morphin Blue, I have the original figure. There's nothing that... There might be, but just me looking at it, there's nothing that I think needs to be remastered. Now, if you look on the box on the belt, you can see some extra paint compared to the original Lightning Collection, which is just a plain white belt, but they added some black straps on the white belt for the remastered version. I didn't see any other addition. That was the only thing that really stood out to me. Just a really bad look, in my opinion, overall for the Lightning Collection. Not a fan of this one. I think they just do away with the remastered. Do not do that because, yeah, it looks terrible. Let me know in the comment section, has there ever been a figure line that has been remastered? Like, I know there's lines that have been reissued and done again, but I don't think they've ever, fully announced it as a remaster. Like, oh yeah, we released this previously and we're going to do it again with these corrections or whatever the case may be. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that whole remastered. Is it going to be added into the regular line of Lightning Collection, the regular waves? Is it going to be standalone releases? How's it going to be pushed out to the consumers? And how do you announce it? Like, hey guys, we're reissuing this figure. We know some of you, maybe joined the figure line late and it's hard to get the Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger. Well, don't worry, we're going to put it out again and we're going to add these couple of extra things. I don't know, the whole remastered portion, that's what irks me. That's what, it really, really annoys me. But, we'll have to wait to see. Apparently, there's supposed to be a big Power Ranger reveal coming in the middle of January sometime. So maybe this will get revealed. Maybe the White Tiger Zord. Maybe the next wave of Lightning Collection. We'll have to wait to see. But not a fan of that one. Like I said, maybe a remastered could work, but Mighty Morphin Blue would not be the first figure that I would put under that umbrella. And then last but not least, we've got a bunch of wrestling news. They really came hard with the wrestling news. We had the Ringside Fest, which is Mattel working with Ringside Collectibles, where they do this every year. They'll have a stream together and they'll announce a bunch of figures. We'll talk about that last because that was probably the thing that had the most news. First one to start out the month was New Japan Pro Wrestling teaming up with Storm Collectibles to release a Minoru Suzuki Ringside exclusive figure. That's going to be going for $58.99, and that's going to be released in the coming weeks here. It has a January 2023 release date. Pretty short announcement to release window there. I was very surprised when they said January, but hey, whatever. If they got them ready, they got them ready. There also is going to be a Chase, which is going to be the same figure in white trunks. And if you've ever seen Storm Collectibles, they have done a previous release of a pro wrestler, and that was Jushin Thunder Liger. I actually got the original one. I really like the figure. I don't think it's a great wrestling figure because I would like move it around and stuff, and like the limbs would come apart. But the detail is absolutely incredible. Like, it's one of the most detailed wrestling figures I've ever seen. And that cape alone is fucking incredible. It's kind of like a Super 7. It's kind of clunky to kind of move around, in my opinion. Like, I just wasn't a fan of it, but visually it's so incredible. But with Minoru Suzuki, he's not really visually appealing. You know, he's just a guy, an older Japanese man, in just small black trunks, regular wrestling trunks. No elbow pads, no knee pads, small little wrestling boots. He doesn't have anything. He's just a plain looking guy. So this was an interesting release for Storm Collectibles to work on. Not the guy I probably would have expected them to, but hey, whatever. There's definitely a market for that. Like, there's definitely people that are going to buy this. For me personally, this will be a skip. I'm not too familiar with Minoru Suzuki, and like I said earlier about the Storm Collectibles Jushin Thunder Liger, not a great wrestling figure. This will be a skip for me, but there's going to be a audience out there that's pretty excited for that, and I'm excited for them. If you watch my video of my figure want list, which if you haven't watched it, go check it out. You know, one of them was just, I just want more wrestling figures. It doesn't matter the company. It doesn't matter if it's Super 7, Boss Fight Studio, Jazzwares, Mattel, some of these indie companies like Cello Toys. I just want more wrestling figures. Like this, we're in the golden age of wrestling figure collection, and if more companies can contribute to that, I'm all for it. So I'm happy that it's there, but for me personally, skip. Speaking of one of those companies I just mentioned, Boss Fight Studio, they're teaming up with MLW, which is a smaller indie company in North America. I would say they're one of the bigger companies in North America. They're like, they're top 5 in terms of notoriety. Obviously, you've got AEW, you've got WWE, you've got Impact, and then I would say like GCW, MLW, NWA there as well. But I would say those are the big ones for North America. So yeah, they're going to be working together, Boss Fight Studios and MLW. They're going to be releasing some figures in 2023. And they announced that pre-orders are going to be starting on January 9th. That's cool, but they didn't really announce anything. Like, yeah, pre-orders are cool, but you haven't revealed any figures. We've seen some sketches and design ideas, but we haven't seen a figure come out yet. So I don't know what you're placing pre-orders for. I'm assuming it's going to be a big reveal and pre-orders as well. But it would have been cool, like, to get people hyped by, you know, revealing something. Anything, a guy's head, a title belt, something along those lines to get people intrigued in your figure line. The only thing we have to go off for Boss Fight Studio is their previous release with the Lucha Libre line. I've purchased the premium one, the Lucha Premium, which was Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. They're great detail, similar to the Jushin Liger with Super 7. The detail is absolutely phenomenal. Tattoos, this texture, like great looking figures, but they don't really scale too well with Mattel and Jazzwares, so they're pretty small. Hopefully they fix that with the MLW figures. I'm excited to see what Boss Fight Studio does with MLW and their future Lucha stuff. So hopefully this is a big year for 2023. And as far as the MLW figures, I'm assuming there's probably going to be in the announcement of like Jacob Fatu. I would assume Jacob Fatu is like a 99.9% chance of having a figure, and Alexander Hammerstone. And then as far as everybody else, I think it's all up in the air. I'm not too familiar with the roster, but those are two of the bigger names that they have. As far as pre-ordering, I might pre-order this. Usually what I do is I pre-order wave 1 of something, and then I'll make a decision from there if I'm going to continue. Like with Super 7's NJPW figures, I bought wave 1. I wasn't a fan, so I didn't buy wave 2. The Lucha figures, I bought wave 1, Rey Fenix and Pentagon. Wave 2, I'm skipping because there's nobody I'm interested, but wave 3, I'm somewhat interested, and I believe they heard the feedback on the wave 1, and they're going to use that criticism and implement it in Wave 3 and hopefully into MLW. So hopefully all the issues that we had with Wave 1, the Lucha stuff, will be corrected with MLW and the future Lucha stuff. So I will probably pre-order whatever is announced on January 9th, as long as it's in line with Mattel Elite and Jazzwares. That's my one big request. Speaking of Jazzwares, looks like 2023 is going to be a big year for them because, if you watch my want list for 2023, I talk about, I hope 2023 is a big year for AEW, and, these are my wants from Jazzwares and stuff. Like, I just want to see more. And Jeremy Padower, who works for Jazzwares, gave us a little teaser of what's to come in 2023, and he showed some teasers of Danhausen, The Acclaimed, Brody King, Tony Storm, Swerve Strickland, and Claudio Castagnoli. He showed us some heads, he showed us figure renders, and all of them look pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. And he also teased, which was on my want list for 2023, Jeremy also teased some Ring of Honor figure news coming in 2023. That has me excited, so I can't wait to see what they're going to do with that. Hopefully it's not too many reissues of AEW guys and more like unique roster people for Ring of Honor. I wouldn't mind like a flashback look, like a Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe, or somebody like that, but I don't want them to dominate the Ring of Honor waves. I'd like, whoever's going to be on the Ring of Honor roster, I would like those guys to be the focal point of the figure line. So excited to see what's coming out for 2023, and Jazzwares is promising a very big year, so we'll have to wait to see. And then last but not least, Mattel and WWE. So we had Ringside Fest 2022, and they announced a bunch of cool stuff. First off was Elite 102, which is going to be Rhea Ripley, Edge, Sami Zayn, Commissioner Foley, Gunther, and Austin Theory, and he will also be the Chase as well. For me personally, this whole wave's a skip. I have everybody or I'm not interested. I have an Austin Theory, I have a Gunther, I have a Mick Foley, Sami Zayn, I've got an Edge. I don't collect female wrestling figures, so not too interested in anybody in this wave, but some of them did look cool. Next, they announced a ringside exclusive Ultimate Edition tag team, which is going to be the Usos. They're going to be the first one. So they announced that it's going to be a 2-pack. I have not collected any Ultimate Edition figures yet, and this will not make me collect them. I've said this before, not in this video in particular, but for Ultimate Edition, it's either got to be a guy who I don't have a figure of, or it just blows me out of the water with like the accessories, the look, the attire, something along those lines. And that just hasn't happened yet. I have a couple Uso figures. I'm happy with those. Don't really have the need to get the next one up. So skip for me. Next they announced Ultimate Edition 17, which is going to be Seth Rollins and Andre the Giant. Again, figures look cool, but a skip for me. The next 3 things are like super cool. So the first one is WWE Elite Greatest Hits. So the Greatest Hits wave, they just came out with one a couple months ago, which was The Rock, Undertaker, Rikishi, Bam Bam Bigelow, Rey Mysterio, and Jake the Snake Roberts. Holy shit, I actually listed them all off. And basically, they're all reissues. Those are all figures that have come out previously in different waves. They're kind of like the best of, kind of, where it's like, okay, these are figures that are like hard to get, or they're figures that people have requested that they do re-releases of, and they kind of throw it in this Greatest Hits wave and re-release it. They announced a Wave 2, so they announced that it's going to be once a year, the Greatest Hit Wave. So that was 2022, and the next Greatest Hits Wave is going to be for 2023. Out of the 6 people, we already know 2 of them. The first one is King Harley Race, which is pretty cool. I've heard a lot of things where it's like, this is a very sought-after figure on the aftermarket, the secondary market, like eBay and shit. This goes for a really high price point, so it's cool that they're re-releasing it for people who want it. And the other one was Batista in his gear where he was all blue and he was dubbed Blue Tista. I don't think that's a cool figure to kind of put out. From what I remember, when that figure was out, that was kind of a peg warmer. So to re-release it in the Greatest Hits, I feel like it's taking up space for something else that could be really cool in this wave. That'd be a skip for me. Not interested in Blue Tista. Like I said, this will be a yearly thing, which is kind of unfortunate. I would like multiple Greatest Hits waves, because there's a lot of figures that have come out that, like what was mentioned, like with Harley Race, hard to find or super expensive on like eBay and shit. So if they can reissue it with, some of the newer technology that they have, would be really cool. And, that sucks that we have to wait once a year to get a wave. So hopefully the other 4 people in the wave are pretty cool. Blutista, kind of a skip for me. Harley Race, it'll be a skip for me as well. Not too familiar with Harley. Next thing that they announced I thought was pretty cool. WWE Defining Moments will be making a return in 2023. So Defining Moments was this line. It's exactly as it says, Defining Moments. Taking moments in wrestlers' careers and making figures of it. A couple of examples was Triple H's big return in like 2002, yeah. After he came back from the quad injury and he came back in that jean jacket. There's a figure of Sting in the Crow makeup. There's a figure of Jericho when he became the Undisputed Champion and he won the WCW title and the WWF title. I've actually purchased a Defining Moments previously, and that was Shinsuke Nakamura. That was his first WWE figure. That is from his moments in his debut in NXT where he took on Sami Zayn at that one takeover. So I really like the Defining Moments. I think it's a really cool concept. And they announced that it's going to be returning in 2023, and it's going to be returning with Mankind. The Mankind they're going to be using as their source is from his match with Undertaker, the Hell in a Cell match, where he takes the 2 crazy bumps, one off the cell and one through the cell. And there's even a picture where they have the thumbtacks in the back of the figure, so that's a really cool little detail. So that's really cool. I'm super excited to see what they do with the Defining Moments. Big fan of the line, and it's great to see it back. And then last but not least, this wasn't announced per se. This was announced in a Q&A. They announced a bunch of figures, whatever, and then they did a Q&A. So they took questions from the fan base, and one of the people asked a question to the Mattel design team was like, can you give us a little teaser for 2023 of some people that have never received figures? The little teaser they gave, and then they kind of expanded more on it, was the Steiner brothers. The Steiner brothers are signed to a figure deal with WWE and Mattel, and that is super cool. I cannot wait to get some Steiner brother figures. More specifically, my one request would be Scott Steiner from like his WCW time when he was like a singles competitor. Had the blonde goatee, the blonde hair. It'll be cool to see him when he was the Steiner brothers with Rick, and them as a tag team from like WCW, WWE. There's a lot of cool variations of those guys that you can do, and they've had a lot of colorful gear over the years, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the Steiner brothers in figure form, hopefully in 2023, because I know they said they were working on it, but I don't know if we'll even get it this year. Could be early next year that we get it, but as long as they're in the works and they're in the pipeline, I think that's really cool. So I can't wait to see some Steiner brother figures. Yeah, super, super excited about this one. Like, I am pumped. A lot of cool stuff to look forward to in 2023. I am pretty excited. My wallet's a little sad, but what's he gonna do? That is going to be it for me. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Look forward to next month in January. Honestly, I think January might literally be a light month. There's like nothing on the horizon per se. They usually don't have any like good deals going on in January because everyone's tapped out from December, spending all their money in Christmas and Boxing Day and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what I'll have in January. We'll have to wait to see, but I think it will be light. I'm like 99.9% sure it'll be a light month, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And since this is kind of like the last figure video of 2022, well, this is going to come out in 2023, but this is technically the last figure video of 2022. I just want to say thanks for all the support. This was something that I started about halfway this year, introducing figure content to my channel. I've wanted to do it for the longest time, and the longest time I was ashamed. I was like, man, I'm an adult. I'm collecting figures. I kind of did it in secret. And now I'm free, you know. I'm free. I've accepted the fact that I'm a figure collector, an older figure collector. I'm happy. I'm really happy I'm doing the figure content on the channel. It makes me happy, and I know there's other collectors out there as well, and we no longer have to hide in shame. Embrace your inner geek, whether it be in figures, anime, whatever the fuck you do, or whatever media you consume that you think is like you're going to be judged for. Fuck it. You only have one life to live. Live it to the fullest. So this is how I like to, you know, this is my little treat to myself, buying figures of stuff that I like. Fuck it, I really like it, and I'm glad I can share it. So I want to thank you guys for the positive reception to that. So look forward to next year. I want to get a better set. That's one of the things I want to do for the figure videos. I just really hate the little like white background and my Goosebumps former bed sheet. I just think it looks so terrible. I don't want something elaborate, but just something a little more professional looking. So hopefully we'll you know, I got to come up with some ideas and see what's feasible, but I definitely want to spruce up the set. So maybe for the next video we'll have a new set. We'll have to wait to see. But yeah, a couple things to look forward to. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch me next month. Keep up with everything that's going on the channel. That's it for me. Take care, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. And until then, guys, peace out.